Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. If you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Oh my goodness, what a catch!
Right now, we'll pause for the playing of our national anthem. The national anthem by the Clyde High School Marching Band, and we are exactly 5 minutes away from kickoff tonight. 9-2 Shelby, 9-2 Clyde in the Division IV Regional Quarterfinal. Aaron Hines, Eric Will, My 100.1 tonight, teaming up with our friends at the OH Report. It is playoff football. We are like sardines in the press box, and we are ready to rock and roll here tonight.
We are tight.
Let's talk about Clyde, because they play in what you would call one of the toughest divisions, because you have Norwalk, Sandusky, you have Bellevue, you have Perkins, all those in a row. That gets you ready for a playoff run, and that defense looks legit when you look at the numbers.
Yeah, they're really, really good defensively. Aaron, like we said, coming over, they've only given up over 3 scores in a game 3 times this year, and all of those were wins. Except for the first game. The first game they lost against St. Francis. But 9-2 on the year, running through this conference, beating Bellevue in Week 10 to get that co-conference championship. They are just really, really good. And then offensively, it really does start and stop with Jaden Cook. Jaden Cook throwing for nearly 2,000 yards with 19 touchdown passes, completing a good percentage as well, 65%. He's also rushed for well over 100 yards. And then Michael Daniels, you're going to hear this name a lot, over 1,300 yards rushing, 18 touchdowns. Just an absolute stud on the ground with his ability to affect the game at nearly 5 yards a carry. Listen, Aaron, Clyde's going to be very multiple offensively. And as we get to the keys, as we start talking about what is Shelby, what is Clyde going to have to do to win this game, one of the major things we're going to lean towards is can Shelby stop or slow down even just one side of the run or the pass? Which one can they slow down?
You hear Clyde take the field, and we didn't even jump in and really talk about that Flyer defense, which is legit, allowing just 13 points per game. This is a team, Eric, when you look at them, and the stats, as I mentioned, just jump out at you. They have 36 sacks as a team. This team has 27 takeaways. The defense has scored 4 times, 16 interceptions, 11 recovered fumbles, and their D-line, Remington, Norman, and crew, they are going to be a handful for that Whippet O-line.
Walker Britt, Remington Norman, Max Myers, Logan Homler. Those kids are going to be all over the place. Listen, I'm looking forward to seeing what Clyde does defensively. I want to see if they have 1 safety high, if they have 2 safeties high. How are they playing this? Because that's going to dictate how Shelby's going to call their offense. Those defensive ends and those 2, the shade and the 3 technique, are nasty. Remington Norman is an absolute beast. Listen, this is the best defensive line Shelby has seen this year. There's no exception to that rule. So tonight, what is Shelby going to do to neutralize that defensive front? I think they're going to see a lot of quick game. They got to get out on the perimeter, and that's why I got to see that 1 safety high or 2 safety high. If it's 1 safety high, Aaron, I think Shelby can take some shots. If it's 2 safeties that are high, I think you're going to be looking at quarters coverage, keeping everything in front. Now you're going to have to operate underneath and with your quick game.
Well, as Eric mentioned, 3rd straight year they've met here in the postseason. 2 years ago, it was in Tiffin. Shelby led by a couple scores at halftime. Yeah. Clyde rallied and never stopped. They went on to win the state title in 2019. They met a year ago in Shelby. Whippets won that game 28-14, and I joke with Coach Mahaney, this isn't baseball, but this would be like the rubber match here tonight between these two in the last 3 years. Clyde has won the toss. They have deferred. By the way, the Whippets will receive the football. They've made the playoffs now 3 years in a row and 5 of the last 6 years. Clyde, under Coach Ryan Carter, has not missed the postseason. They've made it 9 years in a row. The last time Clyde missed the playoffs was 2012. This program, it just seems to get better and better year after year.
Absolutely. And, people that are listening to on 100.1 or through the OH report, you have to understand what you're getting ready to face. An SBC school that, I have some coaching buddies that coach in the different parts of the SBC, whether it's the Bay or the Lake, and they're always joking with me and saying that they're the SEC, and Shelby comes out of what would be like the Big 12 or the Pac-12. They're just joking around, but what they're saying is that their offense and defensive fronts are really, really good. Listen, to play in the SBC, if you're going to make it through a season, you would better be physical. So I know Brian's going to be pulling up here the keys to the game here.
I think he had some up
Did
earlier.
he already have them?
Yeah,
Sorry,
he had
Brian.
them up earlier.
I wasn't paying attention.
I think we weren't paying attention.
Well, that's what I said. I wasn't paying attention. But
there's your Whippets.
There it is. But you can see it right there. Be physical. Do what you do. Listen, Shelby's got to get big hits in this game. They're not going to line up and just control the line of scrimmage. The second thing to that is if you're Clyde, don't give up the big play, and then you yourself have got to get off to a hot start offensively. Shelby has to make them one-dimensional. Shelby almost is naturally one-dimensional on offense because they throw the ball so much. But Shelby really needs to make sure they're not getting hurt in that pass game.
All right, and Shelby will receive the kickoff, going to be fielded by Isaiah Ramsey inside the 20-yard line. Breaks a tackle left side, and he'll get a little bit of yardage, but really didn't go north up the field. He'll be tackled at right around the 20-yard line, and that is where the Whippets will take over 1st and 10 as Marshall Shepard and that high-powered offense of the Whippets, who average nearly 44 points a game. They allow 21. Clyde scoring 34 a game, allowing just 13. I will tell you, Clyde all year has allowed just 13 points total in the first quarter. How big would it be for the Whippets to score early, maybe even on the opening drive?
Yeah, not only that, but Shelby's a quick play offense. So, they want to get on the board right away quickly.
1st and 10, and they're going to fire a home run ball down the right side. Andre Hill out there, all kind of contact, and there's the penalty marker as Andre Hill had a defender on him. It was Brady Wilson. The ball hung up in the air, and as he looked back, the defender made contact with Andre Hill at midfield, and that's going to be pass interference on Clyde. And the Whippets taking a shot early down the field.
Yeah, not only that, that's best on best. Brady Wilson's not only one of their best offensive players. You're going to hear about him at the wide receiver position. Obviously one of their better players in the secondary. So, listen, man, there's a lot of times they throw that 50-50 ball up because they feel like if my player doesn't make the play, maybe we can get that pass interference call. So that's going to be a free 15 yards for Shelby here to start out early. That's exactly what you want to dial up if you're Coach Mahaney and his staff. Just continue to push those chains by penalty or by play.
1st and 10 Whippets, as Eric mentioned, 15 yards down the field. The ball at the Clyde 35-yard line. 11:52 to play, scoreless here in the opening quarter. 5 wide receivers. Hill in motion. They'll hand him the football on the jet sweep to the near side. 35 line of scrimmage. 40-yard line. It got drilled out of bounds. Coming up from the secondary, Caden Olson and others shoved him into the sideline. Give Andre Hill 5 yards. And Eric, something we saw a lot covering Shelby, that jet sweep with Hill and Bowman was very successful kind of mid-season on.
Well, and here's the thing. You're picking up 5 yards if you're Shelby. You're staying on schedule. What a great block on the perimeter there by number 7, Connor Hinkle for Shelby. And like you said, number 7 for the Flyers there, Caden Olson laying his DNA all over him, wasn't he? That's a big-time stick right there.
11:17 left here in the opening quarter. For 2nd down and 5. Whippets at the Clyde 40-yard line. Bowman in motion. Back to pass. They'll get it out quickly. Left side. And a good job by Clyde on the far side of the field to make that tackle as Clyde flew up in a hurry to make that tackle shy of the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and right there, David Ray's got to do a better job of blocking on the perimeter. You got man there. Listen, when Blaine Bowman runs across the formation and he runs with them, you got man. So that's telling Marshall what coverage you have. Now, if you're out on the perimeter there, if you're David Ray, you've got to get to that upfield shoulder and make that defender work underneath.
3rd and 6 from the Clyde 39. They lost a yard. Pass over the middle is going to be intercepted by Clyde at the 45-yard line. Returning the ball out of bounds at around the 43 as it was Andrew Cauble, the senior defensive back, was right there as Marshall Shepard fired one over the middle on a slant. Intercepted by Clyde in that defense. Now 28 takeaways on the year. That's interception number 17.
Right, and they're opportunistic. There's no doubt about it. Listen, they're battle-tested. They've played a great schedule. There's not much they haven't seen. Probably the comp for Clyde is Tiffin. Tiffin throws the ball quite a bit. So there's not really a whole lot of coverages and concepts that they're not accustomed to. That's a great play by Cobble right there, reading the quarterback. That's the difference between zone and man. When you're playing zone, your eyes are on the quarterback. You see the ball.
All right, Clyde 1st and 10 at the Shelby 43-yard line after the turnover. 10:32 to play, and somebody looks like they moved here in the opening quarter on that Clyde O-line. Somebody kind of flinched and kind of rocked, and I believe that's going to be 5, and it is on the Flyers.
Yeah, it looked like the left guard there kind of moved out of his stance a little bit.
So that'll back the ball up.
Little antsy here.
Yeah.
Little antsy.
First play of the game for the Flyers will be now from the Shelby 48-yard line. 2nd down and 15. 10:32 to play, opening quarter. We are scoreless. The Whippets with a turnover on the opening possession, and both of Shelby's losses this season, turnovers have been the issue.
And that's what can happen if you're Shelby. Hey, listen, foot in the ground here. next play defensively.
Clyde 2nd and 15. They're going to throw it with Jaden Cook. He'll roll to the near side. Can't find a guy right away. Now try to loft it near the sideline. Garrett Baker was out there defensively. It'll go out of bounds. Good coverage by Shelby in the secondary. Cook had nowhere to throw the football. He was targeting Olsen that time, but just had to loft it out of bounds.
Yeah, right there. There's just almost a light sprint out there. You had your H-back kind of max protector. That's almost a one-man route. So great job by Garrett Baker there on the coverage for Shelby, riding that thing out of bounds. This is what you want, second and long. Listen, you talk to your kids all the time about sudden change. So Shelby does a nice job adjusting because a lot of times people go for that home run after a turnover.
Just over 90 seconds into the game. Second down, 15. Clyde, they'll hand it off up the middle of the running back, Daniels, and he'll try to plow his way through the middle of that line, getting up off the bottom of the pile for the Shelby Whippets. It was A.J. Cornett, 6'2", 350 on that D-line, plugging the hole in the middle. They'll get it down to the Whippet 43-yard line. So basically, they get back that penalty yardage, bringing up 3rd and 10. And Eric, this is a very big third down for the Whippet defense.
Well, and this is what you want right here. Try to get yourself off the field. You talked about A.J. Cornett right there. You know, we've talked a lot about that Clyde defensive front. Well, Shelby's defensive front has played very well as of late.
9:50 to play, opening quarter scoreless. Clyde, 3rd down and 10. And they're at the Whippet 43-yard line. They'll hand it off to Daniels up the middle. The Whippets do a good job. He'll get near the 40-yard line and go down right there, getting up off the bottom of the pile for the Whippets. It was Luke Shepard who got his nose in there to stop him after a 3-yard gain down to the 40-yard line. So the Flyers 4th and 7 from the Whippet 40-yard line. They'll quickly go to the line. Coach Mahaney told me this is something they'll do. Quickly to the line, then turn to the sideline.
Right, and if you run the ball on a 3rd and long like that, that tells me you're going for it on a 4th down. What kind of trust do you have in your defense, Aaron? If you're Clyde, you go for it on the 40-yard line. A lot of teams punt in this situation, not Clyde. Oh,
and
there it is.
They are going to punt as Jaden Cook will boot it. It'll hit it about the 16-yard line and just check up right there. It'll roll now on that carpet down near the 10. And Clyde will touch it up right there.
It's kind of surprising that they went. Here's why I thought they would go for it. When you run the ball, especially an inside run on a 3rd and long, in plus territory, you're normally following that up by saying, listen, this is 2-down territory. Let's go ahead and try to go get it. It's a little bit puzzling for me to run an inside, basically a trap play and then turn right around and punt. But you know what? Like I said, if you're Clyde, their defense has been so good this year that you'll go ahead and play field position. 1st and
10 Whippets at their own 10-yard line. Just under 9 to play, scoreless here in the opening quarter. Shelby hands the football off, and the back is absolutely blown up and buried. I'll tell you what, terrific job by Clyde, knifing in there on that stop. Remington Norman, the defensive lineman,
and he was almost untouched.
Stud.
Yeah, even on the replay, you can see he was almost touched. He did a great job, closed the gap down with his shoulder square, coached very well.
Lose a couple of yards. Shepard back to pass on 2nd and long. He'll get it to a receiver. The receiver got drilled on the far side of the field. It was Andre Hill got hit by Jay Plummer, the junior defensive back. It'll be a short gain across the 10. They'll spot him at about the 13. So the Whippets with a 3rd down and long coming up, about 8 yards to go.
Yeah, and if you're Shelby,
any closer to 7.
And here's the thing, that's okay. It's a 5-6 yard play. It gets you back in a manageable 3rd down. Like I said, for Shelby, this is just a regular play. A 3rd and long is a regular play for them because they've got that in their book, especially the way that they run empty and all the different concepts that they have down the field.
3rd and 7 for the Whippets from their own 13. Shepard back to pass left side. The receiver stopped on the route near the sideline. It was Isaiah Ramsey, and Shepard fires it down the sideline. Incomplete. Little miscommunication by the Whippets, and they'll have to punt the ball deep in their own end.
Yeah, now as you look at this, here's what you're looking at over there. You got him isolated by himself, and Ramsey's the 6'3 sophomore, great athlete, tremendous potential. So if the DB's playing off, you run the short. If you feel like you're even, you're leaving. That means throw it out. So Marshall and Isaiah Ramsey there were just on different pages.
So the Whippets on 4th and 7 from their own 13 will punt it away. 7:45 to play here in the opening quarter. It'll roll into Clyde territory, and the return man will wait, pick it up, work his way into Whippet territory. He's going to step out about somewhere, trying to tight rope down the sideline. It was Caden Olsen, the senior. Where did he step out? At the Whippet 44-yard line. So he fields that punt right around midfield instead of letting it roll, which I know is something.
Hey, that's my pet peeve.
I know it is, man. And think about it. If
drives me crazy.
If that keeps rolling, they probably lose. Maybe when you think about the return, 10 to 15 yards minimum.
Listen, for anybody listening, anybody watching, You have to field punts. It drives me crazy when people let the ball hit and roll for 10, 15 yards. I don't care if you're your best athlete. Secure the catch. I don't care if you gain a yard. You're preserving at least a first down, maybe even 2, just by securing the fair catch.
Clyde starts their second possession in Whippet territory for the second time. They'll hand it up. Daniels, right side, gets to the second level. David Ray jumps on his back and he'll drag him for a home and kitchen supply first down to the Whippet 32-yard line. So give him a dozen, and Daniels running downhill, and Clyde quickly back to the line. 1st and 10. The Whippets barely get set. Now Clyde looks to the sideline. 7:23 to play. Opening quarter, we are scoreless. Clyde 1st and 10 at the Whippet 32-yard line.
It's a great jump cut by the running back there.
Here's the snap. They'll hand it off to Daniels. Room off the right side. The Whippets did a pretty good job right there. He got a short gain, as the Whippets had David Ray and others involved in that stop, but you can tell so far several runs toward that right side.
Well, and that's just a little counter power, however you want to look at it, and he's reading the end there. So as the end comes with his shoulder square, you either kick him out. If he gets inside, you seal him, and that's where the jump cut comes in. So the back's just reading his tackle as he works back across, or the H-back, whoever it is.
2nd and 7 from the Whippet 29. They hand it up to Daniels. Another little jump cut up the middle. He'll get down near the 21-yard line, as the Whippets again had David Ray and Garrett Baker in there. But you watch Daniels run the ball. Good vision, good strength.
Well, and here's the thing. Your force player there, so your edge player squeezed in. Did you see him get small there? He just turned to the side and made himself real smooth and just, hey, covered in Crisco, Aaron. That's what he was right there, just kind of slipping through. Picked up an extra 5 yards on contact there.
First down, 1st and 10 at the Whippet 21-yard line. 6:16 to play, opening quarter. We are scoreless. Clyde approaching the red zone, and so far, so early, you feel that Whippet D's been out there a lot. Handoff this time, going to go to Daniels, and Caleb Baker grabs him and slams him back near the 23. Terrific play by the senior defensive lineman.
Yeah, Caleb Baker's been a mainstay. He kind of introduced himself to the world last year with an injury to the defensive line, and he's done nothing but perform his fanny off. Caleb Baker, man, how about that guy? Looking at around 50-some tackles. Here's the key. He's also leading your team in sacks. He's got 8 sacks on the year. You're talking about a young man that's got 10 TFLs. You can add an 11th one there for that. So he's been a great football player for Shelby for 2 years.
Clyde 2nd and 11 back near the 23. Quarterback in the pistol, hand it off left side to Daniels. A good job by the Whippets. He slips through a tackle of Blaine Bowman. So Daniel struggles down near the 21 is where the original line of scrimmage was. I'll tell you what, Blaine Bowman had him. He got through, and the Whippets did a good job of taking him down inside near the 21-yard line. So, Eric, another big 3rd down and 10, Clyde at the Whippet 21.
Yeah, and that last play there, that's a run read. So when you get that, you got to have your secondary, specifically your safeties, a part of your run game. This is obviously, to me, a passing situation.
And Blaine slowed him down for a moment. Quick pass right side by Clyde to the receiver. He'll get down near the 15-yard line, still fighting his way. Whippets had about 5 or 6 guys involved to take him down. Going to spot him near the 15-yard line on the reception. Caden Olson, the senior. And it'll be 4th down for Clyde and about 4 yards to go. Again, they're at the Whippet 15-yard line. And here we go. Going forward, of course, you're on 4th down deep in Shelby's end.
Running the bubble there on that last play. On that bubble, you really want to attack the outside to set your blocks up. Cutting inside there can work against you.
4:17 to play, opening quarter scoreless. Again, Clyde, 4th down, and they need 4 yards to go from the 16. There is a timeout taken, and we'll step aside. Back in a minute. You're listening. We are scoreless. Shelby and Clyde High School football on My 100.1.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to this song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're
my
serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope you're.
In the OH report, 4th down and 4 Clyde from the Shelby 15-yard line. 4:11 to play, opening quarter. We are scoreless. Snap almost went through the hands of the quarterback. Nowhere to throw. Rolls left side. Going to step up. Going to throw into the end zone. Nearly intercepted by the Whippets, and it's incomplete. About 3 guys. It was like traffic on. It was like traffic on a highway.
Yeah.
It goes incomplete, and the Whippets defense bends but does not break.
Yeah, there you go. And how about that, man? Shelby's defense playing very opportunistic, being spotted with a turnover and a punt inside their own territory. Clyde coming away with no points. That's exactly what you want. If you're Shelby, you feel like you've got a big hit somewhere, somewhere in here. Now listen, you got to continue to read Clyde's defense. Do I have 1 safety high or do I have 2 safeties? Right now there's 1 safety high.
4:03 to play, opening quarter scoreless. Whippets take over. 1st and 10 at their own 15. Quick pass left side to Andre Hill. He'll be hit and tackled shy of the 30-yard line. Good quick pass from the quarterback, Marshall Shepard. And the Whippets loved with that home and kitchen supply first down to get out of the shadow of the end zone.
Yeah, and that's a great job exploiting man-to-man there. So he just kind of, what you do is you fire off the ball there, and Andre did a good job of settling his hips. Marshall threw the ball on time, on target, outside short. That's the old 14 back to 12 right there, Aaron.
Whippets 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. 3:35 to play, opening quarter. Shepard's going to fake it, keep it, and he will absolutely go nowhere. Clyde had 3 guys there in the middle. Getting up off the bottom of the pile, a couple of big guys in the middle for Clyde. Walker Britt, one of your guys on the D-line you were talking about, who's so impressive on the D-line. He was one of many Clyde Fliers at the line of scrimmage. No gain, only got right back to the line
how
of
about
scrimmage.
Dylan Overmeyer from his linebacker position there, reading that and filling that thing as well, getting his helmet right in there. Listen, like I said, Shelby has to run the ball periodically just to keep him honest.
2nd and 10 from their own 30. Shepard's going to take another shot left sideline down the field. And it's going to be incomplete as the receiver running stride for stride. It was Andre Hill. It was good coverage. I know Andre Hill thought there was a little bit of interference, but they were running side by side. It'll be incomplete.
Yep. Here's the thing. You can't beg for that call. Look at that. I mean, even where the ball's placed, he missed on the inside. You're never getting that call. As a matter of fact, that's fantastic. That's fantastic textbook coverage. Aaron, when you're in coverage, when you're in man, you open to the field to the quarterback. When you're playing man, you open into the receiver. So that's how you can tell the difference. When Shelby goes in motion, that's how they can tell if it's man.
All right, so the Whippets on 3rd down, going to throw the football. Caught Andre Hill left side. Did he get across the 1st down marker? I believe he did. It's going to be real close.
They're
Hang
marking
on.
him short.
No, the one official on the far side will put him at the 39-yard line. Boy, was that close. We got the OH report replay. Tell you what, it was real close. I couldn't tell if he stepped out of bounds.
4th down, Aaron.
4th down and a yard. Shelby, the ball is at the Clyde 39-yard line. We have under 3 to play, scoreless, opening quarter.
And this is where you'd like to run the ball, but look, you got a 5-man box. I mean, you should be able to run the ball here. You got,
Marshall Shepard, quick pass, caught, 1st down Whippets. Home and kitchen supply, 1st down. His favorite target early has been senior Andre Hill. Moves the chains across the 45-yard line in a huge conversion for the Whippets.
Shelby puts pressure on the defense, Aaron, because they don't have 1, they don't have 2, they don't have 3, they have 4 really good wide receivers. Now, 2 of them have a majority of the catches and the yards. But even when you look at a Ramsey with well over 500 yards receiving, it makes it difficult on your secondary. So that's why Clyde has to continue to change their coverages up.
1st and 10 Whippets at their own 46-yard line. Pass over the middle, caught by the sophomore. That's Isaiah Ramsey. He'll just get across midfield into Flyer territory. It'll be about a gain of 5 yards, again to Isaiah Ramsey over the middle, and Marshall Shepard and crew. Just over 2 to play until we wrap up quarter number 1, still scoreless. Throwing that football all over the field.
That's
early.
a great job. Hit him right there in the number, man. That was a great job. That's just a slant. There was a little jam coverage off the line of scrimmage.
Put him right at midfield. 2nd down and 5, little screen to the backside. Caught Andre Hill into Clyde territory. Cuts it back to the middle. 30, 15. He go down the middle, and he will score. Count him off. 50 yards to the end zone on a screen where Andre Hill came back to the football, and he weaved and navigated his way 50 yards to the house.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that's in the first quarter too. So, that's a big-time play there. Hey, listen, man, that's a great job. You run the jet sweep.
That is a heck of a play.
You bubble them out, and then you hit them back with all the momentum movement. Now, listen, that's going to test your defensive line. When your defensive line is trying to get after the quarterback, Aaron, it can't quite get there, run the screen on him, because then they're so hungry to get that first sack.
1:43 left, opening quarter. Point after, up and good by Marshall Shepard. Will step aside. 1:43 left, opening quarter. Shelby 7, Clyde nothing. You're listening to high school playoff football on My 100.1.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. If you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Back in Clyde after the Shelby 50-yard touchdown from Shepard on a little screen where Andre Hill did all the work. The Whippets lead 7-0, and kickoff by the Whippets will be returned by Clyde, and they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line, and that is where?
Well, it went out of bounds. It's on the 35.
Thank you.
That's okay. And then, Marshall, how about that last drive? Orchestrating 7 plays, 84 yards, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. On the game right now, he's 7 of 10, so 70%, 89 yards. So Marshall doing what Marshall does.
Well, Eric can help me out here. Where I am in the press box, I am under the angle right now where I can't see the line of scrimmage. So it'll be Clyde at the 35-yard line. They'll hand it off to the back. It's Daniels. He won't get much as the Whippets were right there. He'll push his way to the 36-yard line, and I'll tell you what, big A.J. Cornett was in the middle of that D-line to allow just a short gain, but David Ray, Garrett Baker, all right there, and so far early for the Whippets, they've been really active on that D-line.
Listen, man, you had the old Refridge that played for the Bears. Well, those two interior guys, Pollock and Cornett, are like two old-school Sub-Zero freezers, man.
Second down for Clyde. Long to go. Cook's going to fire one left side. Got a man out there. Nearly hit him. Just overthrew him, and that's the guy you and I have been talking about early on here this evening. It's been Andrew Caldwell. We came in tonight. It was incomplete down the sideline around the 25-yard line. Brady Wilson is the guy we talk about, but they were trying to hit one down the sideline. Incomplete, and now 3rd down and 8 Clyde. The ball is at their own 37-yard line. 7-0 Shelby, 1:06 to play here in the opening quarter.
The old post corner on it, so they were able, and here's the thing, on that particular play, that was a double team.
3rd down and 8, they'll throw it. Going to be caught, and it's going to be a first down. They go to Caldwell again. He's across the 45, knee down at the 46-yard line. He needed about 8. He got 9, and it's a Home and Kitchen Supply first down for Clyde. And the quarterback can throw the football. We know that.
And all that is that instead of sprint out with your traditional flood look, that's just sprint out. Same levels, just coming from different spots. So you always have a short, intermediate runoff, and they hit the intermediate. It's a well-designed play.
You got it, Eric. First down, 10 Clyde. The ball at their own 46-yard line. 43 seconds to play, opening quarter. The handoff, Daniels got a crease up the middle into Whippet territory. Inside the 45, he'll be tackled to the turf near the 40-yard line. Garrett Baker and Connor Hankel got him, but he exploded through the hole in the middle.
Yeah, and if you're Clyde here, you're going quick, you can catch him here. So they're bringing their bigger package back in here. So you got Cornett and Pollock back in on your interior. Clyde looking for some tempo here. Cook orchestrating this thing.
Yeah, 1st and 10 at the Whippet. 41-yard line, quick pass right side, caught to the receiver. He'll be near a first down, upended near the first down. Andre Hill took him down. It was Jaden Olson, the wide receiver, put him down at the 31. Eric Will says that is enough for a Home and Kitchen Supply first down. Clock at 18 seconds. It'll start when they spot the football. 7-0 Whippets. And Clyde again moving that football. 3rd time tonight, moving that ball into Whippet territory as they're quickly to the line. 8 seconds to play, opening quarter. Man in motion. Cook, will they snap it? They may not. Down to 3, 2, 1, and they will not. That'll do it. After 1 quarter, it shall be 7. Clyde, nothing. We'll take a break. You're listening to high school playoff football on My 100.1.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. If you car dance to this song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Nothing high school football powered on My 100.1 and iHeartRadio by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. Clyde, first down 10 at the Whippet 31-yard line. It just feels like Clyde has spent a bunch of the opening quarter, or most of it, in Whippet territory.
They have, and that's what's been impressive with the Shelby bend but don't break defense, especially with Daniels with 47 yards rushing.
Speaking of Daniels, hands the ball off and just taking people for a ride. Miles Hall and others were going along for a ride. David Ray and company, they'll ride him down. They're going to put him inside the 25 near the 24. So give him about 7 yards, and that was just brute strength from the running back, Mike Daniels.
Yeah, you get behind that O-line, a lot of the same guys that are on that defensive front, man. There's an attitude with running the football. You try to exude that will. Next thing you know, the first quarter rolls into the second, third, and fourth. Can Shelby's defense hold up on that?
2nd and 3, man in motion. It's Cauble to pitch him the football. Tries to turn the corner, breaks a tackle down the sideline. He'll be bumped out of bounds. David Ray got a hand on him. He'll step out of bounds inside the 15, down near the 13-yard line. First time we've seen that with the wide receiver there, getting a little bit of a gain right there from Cauble, and he's been involved a lot.
Yes, Cauble's been involved a lot. He had the INT as well, and, that's your cornerstone. He's got to do a better job at keeping leverage there on the outside. He kind of gave up that outside. He was almost unblocked.
11:20 to play until halftime. Shelby 7, Clyde nothing. Flyers 1st and 10. At the Whippet 13-yard line, handoff up the middle will go to Daniels, and Daniels will be rolled to the turf by multiple Whippets. Bottom of the pile was Caleb Baker, among others involved in that stop. They'll put him down just outside the 10, put him on the, actually going to put it real close to the 10-yard line, so close to 3 yards on that carry. 2nd down 7, Clyde at the Whippet 10-yard line. Just under 11 to play until halftime. 7-0 Whippets, but Clyde knocking on the door one more time. If you missed the opening quarter, Clyde had a chance to throw it in the end zone on a 4th down play, and the Whippets broke it up, but now Clyde driving again. Handoff, Daniels works his way up the middle, got a block, and he'll waltz into the end zone as nobody was there on the second level. It's a 10-yard touchdown run for Mike Daniels, and Clyde a PAT away from tying this up.
Yeah, that's a great job. Just power there. Almost looked like an old school trap. Just boom, down block, kick out that. I think they ran that to the 3 technique. Yep, it's to the 3 technique, Aaron. That's outside shoulder, that guard. Boom, see the kick out there, finds the way, and it's just the old trap. That's all that was, and Daniels knows what to do with that thing, man. That's, he's been in the end zone a bunch this year, so he's well over 50 yards now rushing for the game.
Point after is up and good for Clyde. We'll step aside. 10:39 to play until halftime. Tied at 7, Shelby and Clyde. We're back in a minute. You're listening to high school playoff football on My 100.1.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. If you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Back here in Clyde, kickoff after the touchdown by the Fliers will be fielded by the Whippets that time. It was Camden Wheeler, and the return for Shelby will have pretty decent field position as they'll have the football coming out at the 35-yard line. Aaron Hines, Eric Will, My 100.1, and the OH report tonight, teaming up to bring you live high school playoff football here, the Division IV regional quarterfinal. The Whippets, 10:34 to play until halftime, and somebody for Clyde just jumped off sides on the right side of the line.
There you go. Yeah, the right defensive end there just kind of got a little iffy. Wanted to
do you feel
get
like
a good jump.
I was going to say,
when you're not getting to the quarterback, you do that. There's little things you're trying to do. You try to time up the count. And that was a nice response drive by Clyde with 8 plays, 65 yards. And Mansfield and tied with Padua right now, 0-0. West Holmes down 7-0.
All right, the Whippets will throw the football tipped around the 45-yard line. It'll fall incomplete near midfield. Somebody got their paw on it.
Yeah, Blaine.
And around the 45-yard line. Hard for me to see here in the box on that one. Good replay. You're right. OH report all over that. It was Bowman that got a hand on it.
Right.
It'll fall incomplete, and we'll have...
Although it looked like it was actually tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Well, did you
Aaron.
think so?
I
Okay.
agree.
Okay.
I think that down lineman.
Yeah,
I
think you are right.
I think he got it.
If you listen to Eric Will, nothing gets past this guy. Come on
know.
now.
Hey, listen, man.
I brag you up to anybody who will listen. You know me.
Brian
Second down and 5. Whippet's going to fake the run. Marshall Shepard's going to keep it. He's got a home and kitchen supply. First down across the 45. He'll slide to the turf at the 49. And Marshall Shepard moves the stick, something he did a lot late in the season, beat teams with his legs.
Before that run, they had 2 yards rushing, so I think they just quadrupled their rush outlet right there. So good job by Marshall there. Fake the jet sweep, come back. Now, that requires eye discipline from the linebackers because they have to read those guards. If the guards aren't watching, or if the backers aren't watching the guards, they're going to run into each other. They're going to follow the curtains in the backfield. The guards tell you where the play is going.
Just under 10 to play until halftime. Tied at 7. Whippets first and 10 at the 49. They'll hand it off to Skylar Winters. Got a block. Breaks it back to the near side. Into Clyde territory. Inside the 40. Inside the 35. And they'll knock him out of bounds at around the 32 as the Whippets with a big home and kitchen supply first down near the Clyde 32-yard line. I'll give you a little insight on the iHeartRadio van trip up. You told me Skylar Winters has played very well late this season.
He's had the last 2 or 3 games of the year, he has balled out. He's got well over 500 yards rushing. He kind of has been there rushing. I'll tell you what, that was really close to a late hit on that, Aaron. Really close. I thought he was actually a step or 2 out. Wow, that's unbelievable. Shelby gets hit with the sideline warning, and I'm telling you, I know why they came unglued because, I'll be honest with you, Aaron.
Because they saw what you saw?
Yeah. And like I said, listen, I want you. I am going to be as impartial as possible. I think I probably. I don't know if you want to get a sideline warning, but there's no doubt that's a late hit out of bounds.
All right, so 9:40 to play until halftime. Shelby 7, Clyde 7. Whippets first and 10 at the Clyde 32-yard line. Whippets with 5 wide receivers, 3 left, 2 to the right. Bowman in motion. The snap. They'll throw it to Bowman. Right side. Caught it. 35-yard line. Tries to break a tackle and does inside the 30. And he'll be rode out of bounds again. Boy, into that sideline. Got shoved.
Get close in
Yeah,
there.
I was to tell you what, they're walking a tight rope when a guy's going into the sideline and you give him a big shove. No penalty marker, but a good job. Good strength by Blaine Bowman to pick up a couple extra yards. Put him inside the 30, down near the 28.
See, that's the extension of the run game, Aaron. All it is jet sweep, little bubble out there, hit him. And people don't realize this. If you don't block well interior, which Shelby has on this drive, you get it out on the edge. And if you want to catch the ball, you got to block for the ball. And those guys did well there.
2nd and 5 at the Clyde 28. Quick pass, Andre Hill. He'll catch it inside the 25, down near the 21, and that is good for a home and kitchen supply first down. Remodeling windows, doors, and more. Think Home and Kitchen Supply first, North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield, online at homeandkitchensupply.com. And I'll tell you what, Shepherd to Hill has been the connection here in the first half.
That thing's been the connection for about 2 years, but add Bowman into that. But all that is right there, Aaron, that's your RPO. So the tackle, the left tackle actually pulled on that. As soon as that backer comes in, pull the ball and throw it.
1st and 10 at the Clyde 21. Shepherd hit as he throws it back of the end zone, and that thing is going to go through the end zone and out of bounds. He was targeting Blaine Bowman, incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 at the Clyde 21-yard line. 8:47 to play until halftime. Tied at 7. After the game, we'll select our Spitzer Motors game changer, whose hustle, whose effort changes tonight's game for the Shelby Whippets. Again, it'll be coming up in the postgame. Spitzer Motors, you can lease a brand new Kia Forte, just $99 a month, or as Eric Will would say, $3 per day. Check them out online at drivespitzer.com, West 4th Street, Ontario. Van Wert leading Wauseon 14-0, and do you want to bring up Owen Treese one more time for those at home?
I'm just telling you, man. People in Shelby are having the shivers when they say that guy's name.
That guy gets one mention of broadcast. Quick pass. Shepherd got it to Bowman. He's near the first down marker. Does he have it? The official on the far side marking it as they knock the sticks down on the sideline. I think he's a little bit shy, or he has it.
I have no idea. I got to see.
Does he have it?
No, they're saying he's short.
Okay, he's a little bit short.
He's about a half yard to a yard short.
The down marker over there has first down, so I was just trying to see from my angle here. So no, it's 3rd down and about a yard for the Whippets. They'll spot the football at the 12-yard line of Clyde. So 3rd down and 1 for the Whippets, and this is where you need to go get a yard, and Coach Mahaney's going to burn a timeout. We will keep it right here. 8:39 to play until halftime. Shelby and Clyde are tied at 7. After the game, we'll select who made a heck of a play. We saw many already.
Yeah.
It's courtesy of Mansfield's injury lawyers, Jeff Heck and Jeff Stifler. They're here to help at HeckLawOffices.com. We'll hand out some free pizza from Giannino's coming up in tonight's postgame. All right, Eric, it's interesting. I had a real good chat with Coach Mahaney. We had it on the pregame. And I told him there's going to be key 3rd downs where you got to convert, whether it's with the arm of Shepherd, his legs, running the football. This is one right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing. I don't even know if this is 4-down territory. I mean, you could kick this if you have to. Marshall's got the leg to do this. I think Shelby's obviously thinking 1st down and probably even 4-down territory here. But, the question is this is where spread teams, if there's a knock, can we go get a yard? Now, on this drive, they've run the ball well, so that's positive. Having said that, Clyde's probably getting that 6th guy in the box now because they're going to make sure. Don't be surprised if you see man down here. Anytime you start hitting around that 10-yard line, you start getting man. It does look like they're playing cover 1, which means they have one safety in the middle of the field. They're going to load that box and then play man.
Can you get a yard when they know you need a yard? Quick pass caught. Blaine Bowman, Home and Kitchen Supply, first down inside the 5. He'll be tackled at around the 4-yard line. That was Brady Wilson, the defensive back, the senior, that made the stop for Clyde. But the Whippets have it 1st and goal at the Flyer 4-yard line.
The old fake, there's the slug-o and then there's the slug out. So he's faking the slant and then works his way back out. Virtually impossible to cover, and man, great concept there.
8:27 to play until halftime. Tied at 7. 1st and goal from the 4. Handoff. Winters changes direction. Breaks a couple of tackles. Struggling forward. Down near the 2. Skylar Winters with a power run as Clyde had multiple guys in there on the stop. Logan Homler among others on that Clyde D-line. Put him down at around the 3. Yeah, maybe the 2.
Yeah, he was just kind of waiting. Winters was waiting for his block there. His tackle was pulling around on him. And so what happens is by, sometimes maybe taking an extra step or two, waiting for that tackle to clear around, it allowed the defense to get there with a little pursuit.
I think I just got an update. 3-0 Mansfield Senior. Just over halfway through the opening quarter. Handoff in motion, coming to the near side. It's Andre Hill. He's got the left corner of the end zone, in for a touchdown. 2-yard touchdown run. Andre Hill, he's got them both here in the opening quarter. Do we have a penalty?
We do have a flag.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. Marshall's reaction's
Gonna
not
be a
good.
hold.
And it makes you wonder where it was at. I don't know if it was on the edge. That's one of those ones. If it's in the interior, the interior, so you're tackle to tackle there. That's going to be a tough flag to swallow because that really had no bearing on the play. So if it's out on the perimeter, that's different. So now we're going to back them up 10 yards. So
that's a big penalty.
Instead of Shelby getting on the board, now you back them up here and make this a little bit longer second down here.
Yeah, our vantage point here, when they go to the left corner of the end zone, they disappear from me. So Travis Berardi, thank you right in front of us, our extra set of eyes here.
Yeah,
in
having
the booth.
having this monitor up here from the OH report is huge.
Ryan Skoronsky and crew, thank you very much. All right, so the Whippets, 2nd and 12, 2nd and goal from the Clyde 12-yard line. Shepard back to pass, fires a dart over the middle, caught, touchdown Shelby Whippets, and Blaine Bowman says,
flag.
I was going to say, Blaine Bowman says, Andre Hill, you can't have all the fun.
Yeah.
And
so I think there's going to be another hold.
Is that going to be another hold on the Whippets? It is. Oh, my. 2 touchdowns in a row wiped out because of penalties. And I know this Whippet offense is really good, but you don't want to keep backing up when you got down to the 2.
Right. Yeah, and that one was, I'll say this, that one was thrown right as he was throwing it. So it wasn't like that was weighted to be, and I think it was that interior. I think it was the right guard that had gotten on the outside of that 3 techniques collar there. Remember, holding's legal if it's inside around the numbers. As soon as your hand extends around the back of that shoulder, it's over. You're going to have flags coming out every time.
You're going to be caught.
And not too many 1st and goal or 2nd and goals from the 31, Aaron.
2nd and goal, Shelby from the Clyde 31-yard line. 7:17 to go until halftime. Tied at 7. 5 wide receivers. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Shepard back to pass. Pressure's coming. Got to get out of there. Gets loose. Going to throw it. Got a man in the end zone, but overthrows Isaiah Ramsey. He had him in the end zone and just put too much on it. Boy, would he love to have that throwback.
Actually, it's funny because the ball was thrown where it needed to be. I think Ramsey was working too shallow. He's got to work more to the back end of the end zone there. Marshall threw that. He almost threw him open, Aaron, if that makes sense. Ramsey just undercut the throw. I think Marshall put that right where he wanted it.
If he continues on the trajectory he was on.
And you can see that on the replay. He does a good job there, but as Marshall throws that pass, he's worked towards the front of the end zone as opposed to the back of the end zone.
Yeah, you can see
undercut it.
You got to see him cut in. 3rd and goal, Shelby at the Clyde 31. 7:06 to go until halftime. Tied at 7. Shepard pressure on. Going to throw another one back of the end zone. Ramsey goes up to get it. Did he bring that in? Are you kidding me?
Let the big dog eat.
Isaiah Ramsey, 31 yards. Touchdown, Shelby Whippets. He goes up and takes it away from a Clyde defender. Are you kidding me, Isaiah Ramsey?
Hey, that's a heck of a play right there. How about Marshall Shepard eluding the rush, stepping up, cool, calm, and collected. 2-year starter, well over 4,000 yards. What has he got now? 45 touchdown passes on the year, just doing what he does, man, out there throwing BBs.
Throwing darts all over the yard. And he kicks extra points, too. It's up, and it is good. We'll keep it right here. 6:56 to play until halftime. Boy, what a ball game it's been so far. 31-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Ramsey. We got the replay. Shepard getting hit as he unloaded. Watch Ramsey go up with the defender all over his back and haul that baby in.
It's not even bad coverage. It's really good coverage, man. I mean, if you're the defensive back, you're like, man, the problem is that dude's 6'3" and can grab a dime off the backboard. That's what you're looking at. That's called high pointing it, man. You can coach that up all you want. There's natural instincts that take place there. I always say this, like Aaron, even in baseball, if someone hits a fly ball and you can't naturally judge that, you struggle. Whereas Ramsey obviously has his depth perception and ball placement. His ball awareness and spatial awareness is really, really good. He's just a high-level athlete, man.
14-7, Shelby, 6:56 to play until halftime. Travis Berardi tells me that drive, 10 plays, 65 yards, 3:35 off the clock. And, oh, by the way, 3rd and goal from the 31, they convert.
Yeah, that, like I said, most people don't have plays in the playbook for that.
Kickoff going to be fielded by Clyde. Good job by the Whippets. And a penalty marker is going to come out late here at the end. Is that going to be a face mask?
I think so. I didn't know if it was the shoulder pad, the collar, but, obviously they saw that there.
All right, thank you. And we got some help here in the booth saying that was right around the 22-yard line. It came at the end.
Yeah.
And we'll wait for the official
Yeah,
to give us the word.
Yeah,
Did he? Okay.
He gave us the official. So now we're going to kick this baby about 15 yards here.
All right, so the Whippets is a personal foul, as Eric mentioned.
Man, I'll tell you what, Aaron, what a game, huh?
Yeah,
this
great.
is what we want,
Yeah.
man. You know, and we knew it was going to be like this. I'm telling you, like most people felt that Shelby's pass game was going to be a threat because of the fact that Tiffin is the comp. Tiffin threw the ball all over the field, and trust me, Marshall Shepard is as good as anybody you're going to see at the Division IV level throwing the pill around, baby.
Marshall's dialed in. Look out, and oh, by the way, Andre Hill, Isaiah Ramsey, Blaine Bowman have been all kind of involved early. So Clyde, 6:51 to play until halftime. They have the ball trailing 14-7. Handoff Daniels. Miles Hall's going to grab him and tackle him at around the 45-yard line. So give him 3, and that's a name. I talked with Coach Mahaney in our pregame interview. I said, who's got to step up and play well? He said, you know what? The linebackers, I'd love to see Miles Hall have a big game. Good to see him get involved with a big tackle there.
Yeah, and Miles Hall's playing your will linebacker, which means he's going to be covered up. So when he's covered up, that means you have a 3 technique his way and a 5, meaning your end's going to be head up on that tackle. So he has to make those plays if this defense is going to work well.
6:15 to play until halftime. Clyde down to Shelby, 14-7, 2nd and 7 from their own 45. They're going to throw a ball left side. Got a man out there and not able to bring it in.
They're going to call the hold on it. I'm so glad we have replays because in live play, I thought it looked like a hold, but I want to see it again.
I was blocked out by the pillar in the middle of the press box, so I did not see the play.
Yeah.
I love the replay here, and it is on the Whippets.
Yeah, and it looked like he and I don't think he had to do it. That's the thing about it. I don't think he had to tug
the ball was
the
a little
jersey
underthrown, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually a little underthrown, and it was thrown to the inside.
Oh, it's going to be on Clyde.
Oh, there
Hang
you
on.
go. Okay.
That is on Clyde.
Okay. Wow, I don't think Coach Clark agrees with that call.
15 yards.
Wow, 15 yards.
And Coach Ryan Carter is headed out to the 40-yard line to say, hey, what about the other end? He's got both hands in the air. You can see
Coach Clark's a big guy too, man.
Yeah, Ryan Carter.
He's Coach Carter. Sorry,
right,
Coach Carter. Coach Carter's got to be all of like 6'5". That's a big human being right there.
And when
that's almost like when
he's mad.
Yeah, when he comes out there, it's like dad. You know, remember when you were a kid and you did something, you were kind of hiding, and then you had this huge, massive human being walk over top of you. That's what Coach.
By the way, Coach Ryan Carter, terrific people.
Oh, he's awesome.
Absolutely
awesome.
terrific.
Matter of fact,
people.
He spoke at a clinic about 6 years ago that I went to. He was fantastic. I actually learned quite a few gems from him. He's really good. He's a really good coach. Like you said, been here 9-10 years. Been to the playoffs all 9
years.
He's a stud.
9 playoffs, and
Great
by the
coach.
way, a state title 2 years ago here in Clyde.
Yeah,
all right, so the penalty backs them up, 2nd and 22 from their own 30-yard line. Don't know about the other penalty we thought we saw. Handoff to Daniels, and he'll have Miles Hall on his back, drags him across the 30, out near the 36-yard line. Give him 6 yards on that carry, under 6 to play until halftime. Clyde will have it 3rd down and about 16 yards to go. They got to get to the Whippet 48-yard line for a 1st down. And after the game, we're going to select our Gander Door Defensive Player of the game. Gander Door, they're always in your neighborhood. Visit them online at ganderdoor.com. We've seen a lot of good defense both ways early. 3 touchdowns in this game. 2 belong to the Whippets. 5.5 to play until halftime. They lead by 7. 3rd and 16, Clyde, their own 36-yard line. Cook back to pass. Rolling left. Off his back foot. Throws it. 2 guys out there. There's going to be 3 guys out there. 2 of them Whippet defenders. It'll go over the receiver's head out of bounds. He was targeting Cauble again. It'll be incomplete at around the Whippet 45-yard line, and Clyde is going to have to punt it on 4th and long from their own 36-yard line, and the Whippets going to get another chance to score here before halftime.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You know, when you look at that, Cook didn't have to release out of the pocket. See, he just sit in the pocket, and if nothing else, step up into the pocket. Don't release yourself out.
Good double team over there by Baker and Stone for the Whippets. Punt's going to hit at the Whippet 35-yard line, then take a Shelby hop back toward the 40. One of the Clyde players touched the football at, they're going to say, the 38-yard line. So that is where the Whippets will take over, leading 14-7, 5:16 to play until halftime. Of course, we announced the iHeartRadio Athlete of the Week, presented by the Neocady Insurance Agency of Ashland and Norwalk. And our winner this week, Lucas running back Grant Barrett, 4 touchdowns rushing
He's
in the
a dude,
playoff
man.
opener for the Cubs.
Yeah, he's a great dude. And how about them taking over in the second half of that game? Kind of a little sluggish to start the game, but then they came on in the second half, and they do what Lucas do.
They win and they move
That's
on.
right.
That's what the Cubs do. They play tomorrow night. We'll team up
Uh-oh.
with the OH report and have that game for you. They hand it off, then they pitch it to Andre Hill. He's going to throw one down the field, and it's going to be intercepted and hung up into the air. Is there going to be a penalty on that play? It was a lot of contact at around the 25-yard line.
The safety intercepted the ball. The DB kind of took him out back and roughed him up. It looked like one of those old Westerns. You know what I mean?
It was a 2-on-1.
Yeah,
right?
it was a 2-on-1. So here's the thing. The DB didn't need to do that. The ball was thrown so well underthrown. Kind of an oxymoron there, well underthrown, but didn't have to. That's the right call. I mean, he did. The defensive back literally mugged him. He tackled him to the ground. He didn't have to do it, though. So that's the right call. So Shelby's going to take their 15 yards. And,
tell you what.
And here's the thing, Aaron, we're approaching now. I mean, Shelby's in plus territory. I mean, they get a 2-score lead, man.
Tell you what, as the Whippets get that penalty, Eric, they're going to move that football, as you mentioned, into Clyde territory. We'll put it at the Flyer 47-yard line. 5:07 to play until halftime. Shelby 14, Clyde 7. 5 wide receiver. Shepard back to pass. He'll step up as he's hit. He unloads one. Down there is going to be Bowman over his shoulder, not able to bring it in. The defender was right there with him, tried to catch it over his shoulder. Incomplete down near the 5-yard line.
I do have one observation that I've been really shocked with tonight is how much man that Clyde has played. I mean, Shelby's receivers have gotten behind them almost all night. Even there.
Almost caught that
Yeah,
ball.
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
That's a good throw.
I thought we would see more quarters tonight, and they would keep their eyes on the QB and read and keep everything in front. Does that make sense? And they played a lot of either one man free or even zero coverage.
So the Whippets will throw it on second down. They got it to Andre Hill. He'll be tackled at the Clyde 40-yard line. He gets 8. 3rd and 2 Shelby at the Clyde 40-yard line. Clock running, 4:45 to play until halftime. Shelby 14 and Clyde 7 in a big-time playoff game in Region 14, which is one of the toughest in the entire state. When you think of how good this has been top to bottom.
Pound for pound, best region, maybe one of the best regions, if not the best region in the state. Marshall Shepard approaching 150 yards throwing right here.
By the way, he's over 4,000 on the year by far. He passed that, 76 yards into this game. 3rd and 2, quick pass, right side, got it. Blaine Bowman, Holman Kitchen supply, first down, sheds the tackle inside the 30. He'll be knocked out of bounds near the 25-yard line. And Blaine Bowman and Andre Hill are just so smooth at catch and run.
And Aaron, going back to my point a couple plays ago, if you give Coach Mahaney and Marshall Shepard the same look defensively, they're going to eat you up. Clyde's got to change their coverages. They're just playing man press. Listen, if you run crossers and rub routes, you know, run the fake slant and run the out, things like that. I mean, it's too much to add. Now, if you mix in this coverage, that's fine, but I think it's tough.
That is a two-headed monster for sure, as they're going to fake it here on first down. Shepard's going to keep it. There is not a lot of room to navigate up the middle. Line of scrimmage was the 26-yard line. He'll just get back to the line. No gain, good job by that Clyde defense, and they just took him out right there as they were there terrific in the middle of that line for Clyde. So 2nd down, 10 for the Whippets. The ball at the Clyde 26-yard line. Shelby 14, Clyde 7, 3:44 to go until halftime. 5 wide, Shepard in the gun, claps the hands, back to pass, pressure coming, unloads right side off the hand of Andre Hill, who climbed the ladder and couldn't bring it down at around the 17-yard line. Just a little bit too high for Andre Hill. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Whippets, again at the Clyde 26-yard line. And this would be a big score, whether
huge.
it's a touchdown, whether it's a field goal. Points here for Shelby would be big.
And Clyde's getting the ball coming out after half. We have him going back to my Mac Brown quote, right? How are you going to end the 4 minutes going into half? How are you coming out the 4 minutes in the third quarter? So, you know, Shelby right now looking to, you know, strike while it's hot. They're in such a rhythm right now. You can tell, like right now, pre-snap, it's cover one. You got one free safety, high man underneath.
3rd and 10 from the Clyde 26, left side. Got a man out there. It's Bowman off his hand, out of bounds. I think he only had one hand on it when he tried to bring it in. I got shielded out by the corner of the booth here, but he was not able to bring it in. It is incomplete. He was going for Blaine Bowman. Got the replay here in the booth as Shepard's been really good here tonight on that pass. He got drilled as he unloaded the ball, And, yep, one hand on it for it. I'll tell you what, that would have been an unbelievable catch.
Yeah, it would have been.
Tried to bring it in.
And that's the thing. When you can get pressure on the quarterback, it makes him make a decision to get rid of the ball a step quicker than he wants to. It messes timing up. Huge fourth down for Clyde's defense here.
4th and 10, Shelby at the Clyde 26-yard line. 3:31 to go until halftime. Shepard, right corner, throws it up.
Got him.
Caught in the back of the end zone. Penalty marker comes out. That ball was caught by Isaiah Ramsey for a Shelby touchdown. We'll sort out the penalty. Isaiah Ramsey, are you kidding me? One more time.
Don't call him a softy sophomore. That dude's just flat out balling out. Now we'll see if it's offense or defensive pass interference here.
We will wait and see. Is that going to be offense?
Yeah.
It is.
There you go. Must have extended the left hand. Well, you don't see that called very often.
No, you do, especially in the back of the end zone like that, where you're kind of going toward out of bounds.
I'm sure Brian's going to give us a replay here after he makes the call.
I don't want to put him on the spot for a replay, so I was just waiting to see if we get one. But that one was, you want to see that one again because of where his feet were in the back of the end zone.
Yeah,
hard to see. That was so far away from everybody, but I'll tell you what.
It was a good ball. I mean, that ball was thrown exactly where it needed to be. So, hey, here we go. Now, here we go, too deep. So now Clyde's in their quarters. Look, see that, Aaron?
Here we go.
We got it all the way across. Boy,
I'll tell you what.
I don't know about that
I
call.
don't know about that. I'll tell you what.
Man.
Yikes.
That's a rough
If you're
call.
a Whippet fan, that is a tough one. 4th and 10 from the 41 of Clyde, and Shepard's going to punt it away. It'll hit at the 6 and jump into the end zone for a touchback with 3:18 to play until halftime. Shelby 14. And Clyde 7, and I'll tell you what, that's a play we could talk about at the end of the night because that's a 2-touchdown lead, and you see that replay. Boy, I just don't know. I don't want to harp on it long, but just I'll tell you what, that really looked like
a game changer.
Yeah,
it really is. I mean, when you're talking about a 2-touchdown lead, Shelby's playing obviously with house money right now on the road, 7 seed right now. Invading Clyde here, as a road team here. I thought the ball was thrown perfectly, but it is what it is. Here's the thing, as the game goes,
got to play on.
Yeah, you got to play on. I feel like even watching that Michigan State game last week. Michigan got screwed on that. That was a fumble, but you still had a lead. You got to still make plays. Listen, throughout the course of the game, and this has been even from my coaching and playing experience. These things generally do even themselves out.
All right, so Clyde will take over. 1st and 10. The ball at their own 20-yard line, trailing Shelby 14-7, 3:18 to go until halftime. Back to pass. Cook, pressure coming. He'll throw it. Got a receiver out near the 34-yard line. He caught it, broke a tackle. He'll be shoved out of bounds. That was Caden Olson. Great catch near the sideline. Where are we going to spot him? Right near the 40-yard line. So Clyde able to get 20 yards and a home and kitchen supply first down. Just got an update from Arlen Field. Mansfield Senior leads Parma Padua Franciscan 10-0 at halftime.
Man, great job there by the quarterback letting Olson clear.
They'll hand it off to Daniels. Nowhere to go. Cornett and others corral him after close to a 2-yard gain out to the 42-yard line. A.J. Cornett has been involved early and often in the middle of that Whippet defense.
How about A.J. Cornett? Camden Armstrong in there as well.
Low snap's going to go on 2nd and 8. The quarterback's going to go back and grab it. Now he's going to throw it near the sideline. It'll be out of bounds at around the 45-yard line. Head of receiver Brady Wilson coming back to the football. And I'll tell you what, if he wasn't able, a lot of times you see somebody just fall on that. Cook aware, able to scoop it up on the carpet and throw it away. Otherwise, Eric, you lose probably 10, 15 yards.
Jaden Cook, that's a senior play right there. That's a great heads-up play by a senior quarterback. And then finding Brady Wilson and just kind of overshooting him out of bounds. Good. No, that's a good. Keep the flag in the pocket. That's obviously not going to be an intentional grounding.
2:45 to play until halftime. 3rd and 8 Clyde as they're going to throw it from the 42-yard line. Going to throw a home run ball down the right side. It's going to be incomplete as that time on the play. 2 defensive backs were out there for the Whippets. They were targeting Griffin Knopfs. And it's incomplete.
That was kind of a prayer there. So this will be a punting situation. They're going to line up here, but he's going to punt this football.
Hey, what the Whippets?
They're not going for this.
So 4th down and 8. Whippet defense able to hold Clyde at their own 42. 2:38 to play until halftime. Shelby gets it back. We'll have an opportunity.
Well, and here's the thing:
to score
2:38.
It's all day for Shepard.
Them. Yeah, I mean, this is. I'll be honest with you. They'll probably leave some time on the clock. The way that they move the ball.
They'll leave some change out there as
That's
the
right.
punt is going to hit. at the 31-yard line of the Whippets, and it'll take a Shelby hop and touched up by Remington Norman at the 34-yard line, and that is where the Whippets will come out. Van Wert, 28, Wasion, 7. No and Treese, no problem. They're rolling in the first half.
No, they're really good. I have a buddy that coaches at St. Mary's, and he said, he's like, hey, man, Van Wert's probably on. But he said they're comparable with last year's team that won a state championship. So he said, just beware. They didn't go anywhere.
You've been warned?
We've been warned,
right.
yeah.
First and 10, Shelby. The ball is at their own 42-yard line. 2:29 to play until halftime. But Shelby 14 and Clyde 7. The Whippets at the line of scrimmage. 4 wide receivers, 2 each way. Shepard in the gun. Back to pass. Got some time. Throws it. Caught left side. Andre Hill, who has been target number 1 for jersey number 1. He's got it across the 40 out near the 41. And just a quick pitch and catch.
Man, how good's Marshall Shepard? I'll tell you what, I'm watching that, and I can see him. All he did was just basically run a 6-7 yard little out route.
He got 8.
And the ball was right there. He's just, Marshall Shepard, when he is in rhythm, he is smooth, man.
Second down and 2 on the 8-yard catch. They'll hand it off to Skylar Winters, who struggles forward. Now dragging people, trying to get that first down. It is a sea of bodies in the middle.
I think he got it.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's real close to the first down marker.
Yeah, they're giving it to him.
Guys getting up off the bottom of that pile. Name your flyer. Abraham Morrison, the junior outside linebacker for Clyde. But I'll tell you what, strength of Skylar Winters knowing he needed to, and he got to.
He sniffed it out, man.
Yeah, first down and 10. The ball will be at Shelby's own 43-yard line as we have 1:30 to play until halftime. Shelby.
I'm kind of almost surprised Shelby's taking this much time.
Two timeouts on the clock for the Whippets, leading 14-7. First down and 10 again at their own 43. Shepard, Bowman in motion, 5 wide receivers, back to pass, right side. Bowman caught it, turns the corner and got tackled right away by Brady Wilson with a terrific tackle into the sideline. That's how you make a tackle.
I'm just surprised they're moving this slow. Shelby's a tempo team, man. Now you're hitting a minute. You're still in minus territory here. You've got 2 timeouts, I think, in the holster. If you're Shelby, man, I try to get myself a score here. Your offense can score from anywhere on the field. I wouldn't just be kind of sashaying around here. I'd be looking to get some points on the board. Moving a little too slow for my liking.
Yeah, second down and 8 for the Whippets. The ball just shy of the 45-yard line, their own 45. Back to pass, Shepard nearly sacked, and now he will go down. Sacked and taken down, and there's your guy, Remington Norman, and that D-line came bursting through. They broke the door open and sacked Shelby back near the 33-yard line, and Clyde will burn a timeout with 31 seconds to play, and I'll tell you what, that is a big time stop and sack for the Flyer defense.
The reason I'm bringing that up about Shelby's tempo is because they're a high-octane offense. They are in rhythm. They have work. How many times have we seen their coverage, their receivers get by the coverage? I think quite a bit. They're still playing their man with the safety over top. I'm just surprised that they're almost, it looks like they're almost content going in with a 7-point lead, whereas I feel like with Shelby's firepower, see if you can put another one up. You had plenty of time. You had 2 minutes, 30-some seconds left, I think, when this drive started. And now Clyde's being the aggressor because, listen, they want to see a snap, a hold, and a punt. So, I look for Clyde to come after him here.
Clyde's got 1 timeout left. High school football on iHeartRadio, powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. My 100.1 and the OH Report teaming up tonight to bring you live high school playoff football. The Division IV regional quarterfinal between the number 7 seed Shelby Whippets, the number 2 seed Clyde Fliers, both champions of their league, both 9-2 on the year, and the Whippets will have the football, third and really, really long. They're going to hand it off to Skylar Winters, who loses nearly part of his jersey, dragged down across the 30-yard line. Norman and others in on the stop there, couple yards ahead, and it'll be 4th and forever for the Whippets. And do we have Clyde using their final timeout?
They use their timeout. I like it. I like the aggression. Listen, there's a lot of things. I mean, you can have a high snap, a low snap. You can get a blocked punt. Maybe you set up a big return. Why not? You
never
Aaron,
know what can happen, right?
You're dealing with 15 to 18-year-old young men. I'm telling you right now, man. Listen, Aaron. I always err on the side of aggression. I like when you take your foot off the gas at any point in time. you lose momentum. When you lose momentum, it's hard to get it back.
Yeah, you can lose rhythm.
Yes,
yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. I mean, I really believe in just foot on the throat as long as possible. You got to be wise, you got to be smart, but if you're Shelby, you've got a senior quarterback that's been through these wars, man. He's been through these battles.
And he's your punter as well. You feel comfortable back there. There's the snap. Shepard will boot it away. It'll be fielded by Clyde at the 35-yard line across the 40, 45, knocked out of bounds into that Whippets sideline. As on the return, it was Caden Olson for the Clyde Fliers. And Clyde on the scoreboard, 16 seconds to play, no timeouts. They trail Shelby 14-7. Clyde has it at their own 47-yard line. So you get the ball to start the second half.
Try to score.
I was going to say.
Try to score, man. You can get 2 plays here. Quick score update. Tiffin Columbians beating West Holmes 12-0.
All right. The halftime, have you heard?
I don't know. I just know it's 12-0.
Somewhere probably.
Yeah, somewhere
in the neighborhood
in the
of
ballpark.
halftime. All right, so Clyde 1st and 10. Cook's going to unload one into Whippet territory. Got Wilson inside the 40. Gets a block down the sideline. Going to be knocked out of bounds at around the 20-yard line, maybe inside the 20. They'll say he stayed in bounds. They'll put him near the 15 with 7 seconds to play until halftime.
I love it, man.
My, oh, my.
Hey, if I'm a Clyde fan, I'm down there saying, that's right. That's what you got to do. Listen, why are we just going to concede, yardage and opportunity to score just because, we see it on college football or Sundays?
Better than 30 yards on that throw and catch. As Clyde will throw with 7 seconds
him.
left, corner of the end zone, the Whippets
Touchdown!
not able to get it. It's caught by Clyde.
Boom!
In the left corner of the end zone. Griffin Knopfs, and Clyde has scored right before halftime, and they're a PAT away from tying this baby up in the blink of an eye.
There you go. Hey, Aaron, I'm beating a dead horse, and I realize it. That one approach was really conservative, was not aggressive, killed your momentum and rhythm, and then Clyde said, you know what, no, we're going to go score, we're going to get the momentum, and we're going to have the rhythm, and by the way, we're coming out with the ball. Clyde owned the last 2 minutes of this half.
Extra point is up, and it is good, and with 2 seconds to play until halftime, Clyde on a 20-yard throw and catch from the quarterback Cook. He got it to the wide receiver Griffin Knopfs, the senior, left corner of the end zone, and it ties the game at 14. The Whippets had a chance to go up 2 scores, had a penalty, were not aggressive, as you mentioned. Clyde had a couple right there at the other end, and I'll tell you what, terrific play.
I love it. I tell you what, man, like I said, being neutral here, Clyde did what you're supposed to do. Go out and win a game. Go be aggressive. This is the playoffs, man. Go win a game. Everybody's good. Don't just sit back. Don't be content punting the football, playing field position when there's this much game left. And here's the thing, man. It was a tough combo out there. Braden Stone was kind of spinning around as a corner because they ran the skinny post and then ran the wheel route off of him. That's a tough play to put your corner in.
Tell you what, we'll talk about it here as Clyde will kick the football off. It'll be fielded. Actually went through Wheeler's hand. Going to be grabbed then by Garrett Baker. He'll be tackled at the 30-yard line, and that will do it for the first half. As we head into halftime, Shelby and Clyde all tied at 14. That Whippet offense was rolling. You felt momentum, and Clyde grabbed that momentum as we go to halftime, tied at 14. I do want to make a point. We talked about the Whippets not able to get that score. We mentioned the penalty on Ramsey, and they weren't able to score. Well, Clyde gets the football back after the Whippets weren't aggressive. They were aggressive, a couple of big plays, and they tied the game.
Aaron,
all of a sudden, we're tied, but you feel like the momentum completely has changed.
Listen, the momentum has changed in essentially 30-some seconds. And if you look at the offense, they were in minus territory. They ran just a little curl route, sat in the open window, caught, big-time run, and then they throw that little combo route, the little wheel route. They swap 1 and 2, and in 16 seconds, momentum's wearing yellow. They're coming out with the ball. I'm telling you, they're going in there, and they're saying, you know what? Here's what I'm saying if I'm Clyde's coaching staff. Shelby gave me their best punch. We now going to come out in the second half and lay our punch. Can their offense and defensive lines hang with us for 4 quarters? Shelby had all the momentum, and really we're going into halftime, and Clyde is, you can feel it. We're at the stadium. You can feel it. Clyde is feeling really good about where they're at.
Clyde grabs the momentum, and we are tied here at halftime. Thank you very much. Some stats here in the booth. We'll come back, run down those stats, and give you the scoring summary here in the first half. Once again, we are at halftime here at Robert Bishop Stadium here in Clyde, and we're tied at 14 in the Division IV Regional Quarterfinal. It's Shelby 14 and Clyde 14. Halftime is next. We'll be back in just a bit. You're listening to high school playoff football on My 100.1.
Looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Oh, there's so much space in here.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. If you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're
my
serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Goodness, what a catch!
This Shelby Whippet band closes their show this evening with a popular Latin jazz and marching band standard. This is Malagueña. Ladies and gentlemen, the Shelby Whippet Marching Band.
Flyer Marching Band's second number is a little different tonight. Our next tune isn't an arrangement of a pop song or a rock tune like we normally play, but instead is an original piece written specifically for marching bands by the great composer Mike Story. This piece has a great Spanish flavor and is energetic all the way to the last note. Here's our next chart, La Pantera, which translates in English to the Panther. With the band's final song tonight, we head across the world for a little inspiration from one of South Korea's most popular boy bands, BTS. With several albums selling millions of copies, the group BTS has become an international sensation in recent years. This particular track for our finale tonight was released in 2017, just as the group was beginning to receive international recognition. Here's our closing number by BTS, Mic Drop.
Back at Clyde High School, where it is halftime of the Division IV regional quarterfinal, and we're all knotted up. Shelby and Clyde 14-14 back inside the Wendy's broadcast booth. Aaron Hines alongside my partner Eric Will. Week 12, my 100.1, hooking up with the OH report. Where would we be without them tonight? Monitors galore, cameras galore, and halftime Shelby and Clyde all knotted up at 14. 100.1 FM tonight, my 100 over on WMAN. Mansfield Senior leading Parma Padua Franciscan 10-0 at halftime. We were told that Elias Owens blocked a field goal, and Malachi May scooped it up and rolled 66 yards to the house. Mansfield Senior's defense, not only pitching a shutout, they also scored. They lead 10-0.
Come on, Aaron, that's what they do. I told you, their special teams are unreal. I've told you, it's every big game Mansfield is in, they have a special teams touchdown or big play. It's unbelievable. They play at such a high level, and you know, West Holmes being challenged right now by Columbia, and Columbia up 12-7 at the half there. So it was 12-0, so West Holmes able to cut into that lead. But listen, coming into this year, Division III, Columbia was favored to come out of that region, so that's going to be a heck of a battle too.
All right, high school playoff football, My 100.1, powered by Stone Ridge and Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. Band on the field. Scoring summary in that first half. Whippets got underway with a touchdown at the 1:43 mark of the opening quarter. A 50-yard touchdown pass. It went from quarterback Marshall Shepard to Andre Hill. Point after good by Shepard made it 7-0. That's how we wrapped up the opening quarter. Clyde able to tie the game in the second quarter at the 10:43 mark on a 10-yard touchdown run by Michael Daniels. Point after good made it 7-7. And then at the 6:56 mark of the second quarter, a 31-yard touchdown catch. What a throw, what a catch for the sophomore Isaiah Ramsey. Point after good made it 14-7 as Marshall Shepard put it through. But however, Clyde got the ball with, what did they
16.
have? About 16 seconds to play. They ran two plays. They went 53 yards in 14 seconds, scored with 2 seconds until halftime. It was a 20-yard touchdown pass in the left corner of the end zone to Griffin Knopf's. Point after good, and that brought us to our halftime score of 14-14. We got the stats in front of us. When you look at these numbers, Eric Will, and you look at it, Shelby leading in total yards, 212. Clyde with 188. Pass yards favors the Whippets, 178 to 110. Clyde does, leading in the rushing department, 78 to 34. Penalties close. You look at turnovers, 1 for the Whippets, and okay, it's 14-14, but boy, you just feel a little weird if you're a Shelby fan because that momentum got taken away into the locker room.
Yeah, the feel of this game is interesting because both defenses have actually played fairly well, opportunistic. Shelby's defense, I feel like, has played really well.
Yeah.
They really have. I mean, that 53 yards at the end of the game, take the 53 yards off that, and Aaron, you're down in the 130s. You know what I mean?
Good point,
so, Shelby's defense, remember, the first 2 possessions, they were spotted. Clyde was spotted, with the turnover and the punt in plus territory. So Shelby's defense has actually played lights out thus far with a team the caliber of Clyde. Now, Shelby's offense got into a rhythm, momentum, moving the ball. Marshall Shepard's on point, on time. Receivers are catching balls. And then right before the end of the half, Aaron, it was almost like invasion of the body snatchers. It was like this was not the Shelby team that we're accustomed to seeing. 2:36 left. They have the ball with an opportunity to go down and score and make a 2-touchdown lead. That's a 14-point swing just in philosophy. You've got to keep your foot on the pedal. You've got to keep pushing. And you know what? I'll say this. Coach Clark and his Clyde Fliers, I'm very impressed with the fact that they were calling their timeouts. You can't take them in anyways. And then they came out 2 plays later, boom, got a score. Clyde with all the momentum, and now Shelby's defense is on the hook to kind of get that momentum back to start the second half.
14-14, Shelby and Clyde. We are approaching the start of the third quarter. Now, let me ask you can't go back, but if you're the Whippets, when there was 7 seconds to play until halftime, Clyde got down to the 20-yard line. You had a couple of timeouts. Maybe should you have burned one to kind of get everybody just settled defensively, because I feel like guys were kind of scrambling on your heels, and Clyde got a touchdown. You just didn't feel everybody was ready. I know you can't go back, but in a coaching situation, does the other part of you feel, I don't want to give them more time to think about what they want to do?
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20, but I mean, and that's definitely a philosophy. Having said that, maybe from Coach Mahaney's standpoint, he also doesn't want to, because at that time, Clyde's out of a timeout. Maybe he doesn't want his offense with a chance to get together and discuss it. But listen, they just ran a simple flood route, sat in the curl, catch. There was a lot of yak on that play, too. Got down to the 15, 16-yard line, and then, you put your first-year starting junior cornerback, Braden Stone, in a really precarious situation where you were sitting in either a quarter or at least a third, and they combo routed him, and he got sucked inside. Now, listen, on that play, what we mean by that is the touchdown play that Clyde had, they ran a skinny post and they ran a wheel route. So they ran like the little wheel route up the sideline. The corner's supposed to let that skinny post go to the safety, and he's supposed to stay on the wheel route. Well, it's hard to be disciplined to that. You kind of want to play what you see, and I'll tell you what, Clyde being the aggressor and Shelby now kicking the ball off and trying to recapture that momentum.
Well, even though we are tied at 14, you feel momentum has slid over to Clyde, and the Flyers will start the third quarter with the football. The Whippets have it teed up at the 40-yard line. Again, start of the third quarter, 14-14. Shelby and Clyde. Winner, it's the winner of Van Wert and Wauseon. Next Friday night kickoff is going to be a low-line drive. Hit one of the up men. He's able to scramble and get the football.
Was that an onside kick?
I don't know if they were going for the onside kick or not, but they kicked that ball.
I mean,
it was a low-line drive, and it hit one of the up men, and luckily he just kind of turned around, was able to grab it. If that ball went off him another yard or two, the Whippets could have had it.
That thing came in spicy
at
hot,
the 45-yard line.
Hot.
You got that run. They got those at Wendy's. You got that. At the 45-yard line is where Clyde will take over. So they've had good field position all night. They start at their own 45-yard line. 11:59 to play. Start of the third quarter. 14-14, Shelby and Clyde. Flyers have it at their own 45. Handoff Daniels up the middle. Got a hole, broke through into Whippet territory. Knifing his way. 45 down near the Whippet 42-yard line. A grown man run by running back Mike Daniels.
You nailed it, Aaron. That is a grown man run. And they've already changed it. It's a formation we haven't seen. You got the H-back to the right. They got a loaded backfield. And it's just power. That's just power football. So Clyde's coaching staff went in and said, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to line up. We're going to play Clyde football. And we're going to do what we do. We're going to get behind our O-line, and we're going to pick them up, and we're going to drive them down the field. That's what this drive's all about for Clyde.
1st and 10 at the Whippet 43-yard line. Handoff again to Daniels up the middle. Connor Hankel's got him by the legs. David Ray's got him up top. He'll fight his way forward for about 2 yards down to the 41. Good job that time by Hankel, who got him low, and David Ray got him high. The linebackers took care of him that time.
Yeah, great job. And also, you're getting 2 double teams in there. Cam Armstrong, A.J. Cornett, just the center guard, the guard tackle are getting eaten up. That's a nice job to allow David Ray and Connor Hankel to go in. Good job by the Shelby defensive front there.
2nd and 8, Clyde at the Whippet 41-yard line. Daniels slips left side, breaks a tackle inside the 30. First down, 20, 15, riding him out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. As I'll tell you what, are down near the 10 as he kind of disappeared out of our vantage point, and Mike Daniels running downhill. A home and kitchen supply first down, and the Flyers moving that football. Looks like at about the Shelby 12-yard line.
Man, tougher than a $2 steak on that drive, wasn't he, Aaron? I'll tell you what, how about that play? 2 stiff arms. You saw a little bit of the speed as well. Good job by Shelby secondary. Push him out. Now remember, the field shrunk. If you're Shelby, you got to win first down.
1st and 10, Clyde at the Shelby 12-yard line. Handoff to Daniels. They're getting a handful here. He'll get it down near the 7-yard line, fighting his way forward. David Ray, also bottom of the pile. Camden Armstrong as they tackle him. Going to put the ball down near the 6-yard line. Actually put him on the 7, so put him on the 7. I'll tell you what, right now, really impressed with how hard Daniels
he
has
runs
ran
really
on
hard.
This drive.
Yeah, and like I said, same formation here. You got all your strength to the right side.
2nd and 5 at the Shelby 7. Left side, Daniels broke a tackle. Going near the end zone. Is he in?
Yep.
I think he got in.
He's in. Touchdown.
And it's a touchdown. Mike Daniels, grown man run after grown man run. Hang on, there's a penalty marker.
Yeah, we'll see
what happens. Around the 6-yard line, and that may be on Clyde. It is a hold.
Yep, that's I better say anytime you get it around there, that's a hold. That's just simple power right there. So if you're Shelby here, now you're going to have a 2nd down and about 15 here, so that's going to kick them back 10 yards. That's exactly what you needed here. So once again, if you're Shelby's defense, line back up. It's like Men in Black. Get that little red laser out there. You forget that last play. You're going to line up here, make your adjustments. So you've seen power, 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 and then they came back with the counter there. So those are the 2 plays that we've seen here out of this formation in the second half.
And power from Mike Daniels up and down the field here starting the third quarter. Clyde 2nd and 13 as they move the football back. They'll hand it Daniels right side. Breaks another tackle inside the 5, and they'll drop him around the 4. Mike Daniels with incredible power on this drive. And again, Clyde is knocking on the door. Michael Daniels, the senior, well over 1,000 yards, and he has been impressive down to the 3-yard line. He's been good on this drive.
That's hat on a hat, Aaron. That's what it is. That's why you do that. So Shelby's got to make sure they get the numbers to the power side.
3rd down and 1 from the 3. They'll hand it to Daniels right side, and he'll pull his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Clyde Fliers. And I'll tell you what, they
it's a
made
man's drive.
no bones about it.
Yeah.
They were going to run the football right at the Whippets on that drive, and they marched it right down the field.
Yeah, that's a that's a rock you to sleep drive right there. That's what I said, Aaron. So you played with us for a half if you're Clyde. What did I tell you going into the half? Clyde's coaching staff went in and said, listen, Shelby gave us their best punch. We're going to come out in the second half. I guarantee you he was challenging their manhood at halftime. I guarantee it, Aaron, and you saw the results of that coming out after half.
Point after is up and good, and we'll step aside. 9:16 to play, 3rd quarter. It's now Clyde 21, Shelby 14. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school playoff football on My 100.1.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope you're...
After the kickoff by Clyde, actually is going to go out of bounds while you were away. And the Whippets will have it at their own 35-yard line. And Clyde now leading 21-14 after Mike Daniels, 6 plays, 55 yards, all Mike Daniels. Man. To go 2:43 off the clock, and yeah.
Start calling him Mike's Hard Lemonade. I'll tell you what, that dude ran hard, didn't he? That was incredible. That was a nice drive.
That was a nice drive, and the Whippets are going to hand it off to Andre Hill, and he will go nowhere.
How about that defensive tackle right there, just running with the big dogs, Aaron?
Terrific defensive play that time by Clyde. As you watch the replay here in the booth, and you see Walker Britt, who you like a lot.
That dude's a stud. Did you see, Aaron? He ran with him. Now, granted, there's a force player out there keeping him in, but still, that's a defensive tackle running down one of the Shelby's fastest players, Andre Hill. That's a great defensive play right
Walker
there.
Britt, 6'2", 267 senior D-line running downhill right there. Whippets on 2nd and 20, going to throw it over the middle, caught. It's going to be Blaine Bowman at the 35. He'll struggle to the 37, so the Whippets get a dozen on 2nd and 20 to bring up a manageable 3rd down.
And here's the thing. This is what I expected Clyde to do. They're going to mix in some man, which I don't have a problem with. But you've got to diversify your coverages, because if you don't, Marshall and Coach Mahaney are going to eat you apart. That was 2 safeties high. That's quarters. So each player, each deep player has a quarter of the field. So now it looks like we're in man, Aaron. So they've changed it up. 3rd and 8, we've got man.
From their own 37-yard line, under 8 to play here in the 3rd. Shelby now trails 21-14. Shepard pass going to be caught through it. Back into a dangerous zone. Grabbed there by the sophomore Ramsey, and they're still dragging him. They'll say forward progress to the 42-yard line. It'll be 4th down and close to 3 for the Whippets, as the dart was thrown among a lot of guys there defensively, and it was caught by Ramsey. But 4th and 3, and the ball again is at Shelby's 42-yard line. They got to get to the 45 for the 1st down, and here we go. Shepard to the line on 4th and 3.
Clyde also played zone on that last play. They did a good job there disguising their coverage. When they get the 2 deep, you're basically seeing quarters. So right now they've got the 2 safeties high, so I would anticipate quarters.
Shepard back to pass. He'll throw it. Caught. Blaine Bowman home, and Kitchen Supply first down on a fastball from Marshall Shepard out to the 48-yard line. That is a home and Kitchen Supply first down, and much needed for that Shelby offense.
Yeah, he's just sitting in the soft spot there. Blaine Bowman's been doing this for 3 years. He knows exactly between the backers and the safeties where he needs to sit and find it. So you run that speed out with Andre and then have Blaine sit right off that outside backer. And you tell Marshall, you throw off the inside shoulder of that backer when he releases to the flat.
21-14 Clyde, 6:40 to play, third quarter. Shelby first and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Back to pass. Shepard going to throw it left side. Got a man out there, and is that ball intercepted?
Oh.
No. It was
been.
nearly intercepted. They were targeting Andre Hill. Defensively, Clyde had a man back there. He went up to grab it. Don't know if the ball jarred it loose on the way down. It was William Lozier who was back there defensively and nearly got the second interception of the night, as Shepard was going for that time Andre Hill. But I'll tell you what, good job defensively by Clyde.
Thank God Andre's a defensive back by trade, because I think he went from offense to defense on that, making a play on that. He kind of saved Marshall. Marshall throwing that one kind of into coverage.
Second and 10 Shelby from their own 48-yard line. Shepard's going to fake it, run it up the middle into Clyde territory. Got bumped at the Flyer 45-yard line and down right there.
He's going to be at the 45-yard line.
45-yard line of Clyde. He slid a couple yards past that, but the knee went down at the 45-yard line. So Clyde, he gets 7 down to the Clyde 45, so it's third and about 3, a long 3 to come here for the Shelby Whippets.
Took the official
I was going to say one of the officials, but it looks like he's okay.
That's not very nice.
That is not nice. Halfway through the third quarter, 21-14 Clyde. A big third down and 3 for the Whippets at the Clyde 45-yard line. 5 wide, back to pass. Shepard got some time, fires a dart, caught Blaine Bowman inside the 30 and down near the 25-yard line. How big has Blaine Bowman been on this drive on third down?
Well, in the first half, you saw a lot of Andre Hill, a little bit of Blaine Bowman, and a sprinkle of Ramsey. It's been a lot of old reliable, right? Blaine Bowman. Look at him work behind, just behind the backers and in front of the safeties. And Aaron, here's the thing. This is why you got to mix your coverages up. So once again, you don't want to just sit in quarters either. Every once in a while, mix a man in, mix a cover 2 in. You've got to mix your coverages up. Keep Marshall Shepard off schedule.
First and 10, Shelby at the Clyde 25-yard line. 5:20 to play here in the third. Pass over the middle, caught by Andre Hill. Had a defensive back on his hip. He'll be tackled at the 15-yard line, and I believe that's a first down. It is. Home and Kitchen Supply first down is Marshall Shepard throwing darts all over the field.
Yeah, and you know what? This is this is when the field constricts. Spread teams do a great job of moving from 20 to 20. So now we're inside the 20. We're inside the red zone. The back end shrinks now. How well will this offense do with not a lot of space to work with behind? So Shelby just needs to continue to work that underneath. So, but you might start at some point in time in here. Clyde's going to switch back up to man, and it's right here. He's running with him. It's
Blaine
man.
Bowman, 4 catches, 37 yards on this drive. Back to pass. Shepard, nowhere to go. Eludes pressure. Rolling to the left. Pressure coming inside the 10. He'll step out of bounds inside the 10, down near the 6-yard line. Marshall Shepard, like Houdini, getting out of danger left and right, and they'll put him around the 6 or 7-yard line.
Yeah, great job there by Marshall stepping up. Also avoiding the blitz there, avoiding the rush, and stepping up and working from right to left. Second and 1, you got your entire playbook open here.
Yeah, put him out at the 7.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If you're Shelby, you don't have to abandon the run here. You've had some success with winners on the power play where they'll motion him in. We haven't seen QB power in a while either.
First down and go. Actually, I'm sorry, second down and about a yard to go. And Shepard's going to keep it and get drilled. Needed about a yard to go, and Remington Norman said hello and good night and crushed the quarterback for a couple-yard loss back to the 9. He came flying in.
That's a rude how you do right there.
Oh, man.
He just did a great job. And here's the thing, guard tackle, that's the old GT, so guard tackle are both pulling. So if you're good, if you're the defensive tackle, if you're the end, listen, Aaron, you grab the hip and run with those guys, and they'll take you right to the play. Shelby's been doing a lot of what's called a sugar huddle. So the skilled guys stay out, and the line stays right next to Marshall.
Third and 3 Whippets at the Clyde 9-yard line. Shepard back to pass. Slant over the middle. There was some contact. The penalty is incomplete. The contact came just before the ball got to Isaiah Ramsey. It was close, but you feel like the defender maybe got there a little bit early. It'll be pass interference on Clyde. The ball was incomplete at about the 3. We may get a replay here, and from watching it live, it looks like he got there early. There's the throw, and it looks like he may have bumped him early. From that
bang,
angle,
bang,
it was
man.
hard to tell. The official's a lot closer than we are. It'll be a penalty on Clyde, and that's a big one because the Whippets were facing a 4th and about 3 there. Now
Right.
they get a home and kitchen supply first down.
Yeah, so now you got a 4th down and goal from right around the 5-yard line, 4-yard, 5-yard line.
First and goal from the 5 now for the Whippets, and this would be big to tie this game up here.
Absolutely, and that's what I said. If you're, and that's the type of game we thought this would be. We really did think this is going to be a back and forth game, just maybe a little bit lower scoring than we thought.
4 minutes to play here in the third. Shepard throws a pass off the hand of Blaine Bowman. A lot of yellow jerseys in that end zone. It was thrown at about the 1, incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and goal for Shelby at the Clyde 5-yard line. Something, Eric, you told me on the drive up I thought was important to bring up now. For Shelby, when you get this deep into Clyde territory, there's not a whole lot of field behind you, so you're going to have a whole lot of guys trying to...
It condenses it, correct.
Exactly. It shrinks that field.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dylan Overmeyer almost intercepted that underneath.
2nd and goal, Shelby at the Clyde 5. Winters in motion. They'll hand the football off, try to work his way to the 4, and he will not get any further as Clyde came flying in. And the guy that made the stop was Mr. Dylan Overmeyer, who you just talked about. Came in and made a big tackle.
Yeah, he's a senior at 5'11", 213 pounds. He runs around the field with purpose, doesn't he? His angles are really on point. He's a good football player. He's a really, really nice-looking football player.
3rd and goal, Shelby at the Clyde 3-yard line. Whippets down to score. 3:27 to go in the third. Pass over the middle, and that ball's incomplete.
I thought it was intercepted,
They
Aaron.
were thrown over the middle. Brady Wilson was all over Blaine Bowman. It's incomplete. I don't know how Shepard even got it in there. There were guys everywhere.
Yeah, Caden Olsen literally, that's going to be a 100-yard interception. I think it hit him right in the 7. I'm telling you, that ball had to have hit him. I cannot believe, it's like there's a hole in his stomach. I cannot believe that he did not intercept that ball.
He fired that thing into a sea of jerseys. 4th down and goal for Shelby at the Clyde 3-yard line. Down 7, 3:21 to go in the third. Shepard will roll to the right. Shepard will throw into the end zone. Got a man open.
There it is.
Touchdown, Shelby Whippets. It's senior Blaine Bowman who got open in the right corner of the end zone. And on 4th and goal from the 3, the Whippets score.
Hey, with 3:16 in the third quarter, if Clyde gets that stop, who knows when you're getting the ball back again. That was a must touchdown for Shelby to keep pace, get it, recapture some of that momentum that they've lost from the half and that they've lost here in the third quarter. And how about just the momentum swinging, man? I thought Clyde had maybe a pick 6, and it turns out Shelby gets a 4th down touchdown.
Point after, up and good by Marshall Shepard. We'll step aside. Shelby, Clyde, 3:16 to play in the third, all tied at 21. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school playoff football on My 100.1.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope
Clyde tied at 21. Shelby and Clyde after the Whippets just scored on a catch by Blaine Bowman. Kickoff going to be fielded by Clyde to the near side of the field. Oh boy, and that's going to be a late hit. They just kept driving him out of bounds. And
that's
one of the
an easy
Whippets
call.
Came in really late and shoved him.
Yeah, that's just not. I'm going to be honest with you. That's just stupid football. What are you doing? Have a little field awareness.
You
know
got to know
what I mean?
where you are.
Yeah, like
I
that's
agree.
just, you can't do that. that might be the easiest call all night.
He may have been about 5 yards out of bounds.
And they did. That's definitely the right call. There's no doubt about it. Now, having said that, we're going to move this thing 15 yards, so we just went, I believe we're now going to be in plus territory.
So Shelby just scored on a huge drive where Blaine Bowman had 5 catches for 40 yards, including the touchdown. The Whippets tied at 21. 3:09 to go here in the third, and then a personal foul penalty out of bounds gives Clyde the start of this possession, again in Shelby territory at the Whippet 47-yard line. So once again, you put your defense in a spot you don't want to put them in.
Yeah, you're almost better off just to kick the thing out of bounds. Yeah, you know what I mean? I hate to say that, but I mean, just spot him on the 35.
Here we go, Clyde. Again, Blaine Bowman, 5 catches, 40 yards on that drive. How good was Blaine Bowman on that?
Yeah, he was. He looked real
series.
good. So did Marshall.
First and 10, Clyde at the Whippet. 47-yard line, 3:09 to go in the third. We're all tied at 21. Handoff to Daniels. I think it was David Ray. No, sorry, Garrett Baker jumped on his back, and David Ray, excuse me, both were there. They'll ride him to the turf at the 45-yard line, so give him a couple, and you know it's going to be Daniels after Daniels after Daniels after what we saw in the last drive.
Yeah, that was, and great job by David Ray there, kind of backdooring that. That's a big-time play right there.
Second down, 80. At the Shelby 45-yard line for Clyde. 2:45 to go here in the third. Handoff, Daniels up the middle, fighting his way inside the 40 and down near the 37-yard line. He is real close to a first down. The look, maybe just a little bit short.
I'll tell you
what.
what.
Much. You know he's getting it again on this.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That can't be
next play.
Third and a foot. And all that was is they pulled their guard and the tackle and the H back there. So they're going to measure it, Aaron.
All right.
So what they did on that was that's just counter. It's just or power, depending on how you wanted to explain it. In my opinion, I call that a counter because I'm bringing both guys around. And he just follows them through. And, Aaron, the idea on the counter or the power, just the idea of bringing guys from the backside around, the whole purpose of that is to get numbers in your favor. So it's going to be down block, kick, wrap through, if that makes sense. And then, you know, the Clyde RB does such a great job of staying on the hip of that H-back as he works through the hole.
So they measured, and it's inches.
Literally.
And I think everybody in the stadium knows this ball's going to go to Daniels on 3rd and a yard, the way he's ran here to start the third quarter.
If this is 4-down territory,
yeah, good point.
You know, now's your play action shot. I mean, if you're going to do it, because you're at you're inside of the 38-yard line, in plus territory. You feel like you can always come back and get this. Now, I'm not saying they will. They may just line up and go get it. But if you're going to take your shot, don't fall asleep.
2:10 to play in the third. 21-21. Shelby and Clyde Fliers, third and less than a yard.
Nope.
At the 37, they'll just bull ahead with the quarterback, Cook, and he will easily have the first down by a couple of yards. He'll get down to the 35-yard line, so that is a home and kitchen supply. First down for Clyde to the Whippet 35-yard line. After the game, we'll select our Spitzer Motors Game Changer. Seen a lot of those tonight, courtesy of the good people from Spitzer Motors, West 4th Street, Ontario. Online at drivespitzer.com. Great lease deals on those brand new Kias. Stop by and see him in Ontario. Hand off to Daniels. Left side, got a big hole. He may go inside the 20, inside the 10.
Nice.
Touchdown saving tackle by the Whippets. Garrett Baker got him inside the 5. Otherwise, that was a touchdown.
Aaron, it's simple. Clyde's just lining up. They're doing power. So let's say they're going line up in a power right. So they had an H back and then an offset back that way. They're either running power or stretch that way or counter coming back. So they're looking at Shelby's defense. Now listen, Shelby's in man with Blaine Bowman playing free safety and his heels are at about 8 yards. If you can't stop the ball with that defensive look, you can't win the football game.
Clyde, first and goal at the Shelby 4-yard line. 1:18 to go. Here in the third, we're all tied at 21. They're going to pass it left side, wide open.
There's nobody over there. He was uncovered. There was nobody over there.
Andrew Cauble on the left side. Andrew Cauble was wide open. Nobody near him. And a good audible by the quarterback right there.
Well, listen. You know what? Cookie's been around long enough. Mr. Cook's been around long enough. It's pretty simple. Whatever was called, it doesn't matter. There was no defensive back over there.
Nobody's guarding my guy.
I cannot believe that. Like, how does that happen, Aaron? I just don't understand it. How you can just walk out as a receiver and there is nobody within 20 yards of you.
Point after by Dickman is on the way, and it is good. We'll take a break. 1:13 left in the third. Now Clyde 28, Shelby 21. You're listening to high school playoff football on My 100.1.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Kickoff is going to be fielded by Garrett Baker of the Whippets after the Clyde touchdown. He'll return the football out to the 39. That last drive for Clyde, 5 plays, 47 yards, 1:56 off the clock. And Travis Berardi, OH report, pointing out to me, we've had 3 possessions in the third quarter. Everybody scored.
Right. That's what happens, yeah. And this is what we actually thought was going to happen in the first half. Now, see, I like this. What Clyde's doing is,
as the Whippets go back to pass on first down, nearly intercepted. Oh, man. The Clyde defender was standing right there at the 43-yard line, and the ball just hit him, and he was not able to bring it in. As that time for the Clyde Fliers, it was Abraham Morrison, the outside linebacker. I mean, that was one that landed right in the hands and dropped it.
Now, that's 3 interceptions. I think maybe this quarter that Marshall's gotten away with. That's the wrong read.
Yes, one on the night, but could be many more, right?
He was running, or he stared his receiver down on that one. The flat was actually open.
1:02 to go in the third. Whippets, here comes the blitz. He's going to have to unload quickly. Got it to Bowman across the 40. Breaks a tackle, 45. Breaks another one, and will be rolled near the sideline at around the 47-yard line. Blaine Bowman, a lot of yards after the catch, bringing up a manageable 3rd down and 2 for Shelby. 43 seconds to play here in the third. It's Clyde 28 and Shelby 21.
Yeah, nice screen there. That's what you do when you have an aggressive defensive front, man. Screen them. That'll tone them down a bit.
Blaine Bowman has had a big third quarter. The Whippets are going to hand it to Skylar Winters. Grabbed, and he's going to get the first down. Breaks a tackle into Clyde territory, then drilled at the 48-yard line of the Flyers and shoved back. And Winters with a strong run. The sophomore gives the Whippets a home and kitchen supply first down with 20 seconds to play. Clock running here in the third, and the Whippets into Clyde territory at the 48. That may be the last play of the quarter. Let's see.
We'll see if they're
Whippets got 10 seconds.
Kind of playing with pace now. Maybe they should have. I was going to be sarcastic. Maybe play with that kind of pace maybe in the second quarter.
Shepard on a low snap's going to run it. Going to maneuver left side. 40, first down, 35, 30. Down the sideline, and it'll go out of bounds inside the 25-yard line, and that will do it for the quarter, as he'll go out of bounds at the 23, and we'll step aside. After 3, Clyde 28, Shelby 21. You're listening to high school playoff football on My 100.1.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to this song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Are you
quarterfinal as we start the fourth quarter. Clyde 28, Shelby 21. And Shelby, after the Marshall Shepard run, 1st and 10 at the Clyde 23. Back to pass, left side, fires it left corner of the end zone, and that football is incomplete. Good coverage. Brady Wilson was out there with wide receiver Isaiah Ramsey, who's been really good here tonight, but very good defense by the Clyde Fliers.
Yeah, great job. And how about through 3 quarters, Marshall Shepard with 242 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then on the other side, you got Michael Daniels with 25 carries for 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 7.3. So both teams doing what they want to do offensively. Shelby throwing the ball, Clyde running the ball, and that was great coverage on that last play by the defensive back.
So 2nd down, 10 Whippets. Ball at the Clyde 23, 5 wide. Bowman in motion, back to pass Shepard. Nowhere to go, and Shepard will go down. That clock in his head was going down. 3, 2, 1. Got to get rid of it, and Clyde sacks him back at the 30-yard line.
Man, he got just absolutely consumed, didn't
Swallowed under.
Yeah, was that our boy number 59 right there?
I believe so.
I'll tell you
Remington
what,
Norman.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I heard so much. Well, he was an absolute animal last year. 5'9", 208 pounds, really quick, built low to the ground. You know, I don't know this for a fact, but he's kind of almost got a wrestler's built to him. You know what I mean? And boy, his hands and hips are just quick. So if you're that left guard, you've had your hand full with that young man tonight.
3rd and 17, Shelby at the Clyde 30-yard line. Back to pass, left side, left corner, going to Andre Hill, and that ball is incomplete. And is there a penalty marker? There is a penalty marker down. Andre Hill had a defensive back. It disappears from our vantage point in the left corner of the end zone. I know the OH report has got cameras all over the place.
Well, I tell you what, there are like...
Here we go with the replay in the booth. Pass went to Andre Hill on the left side, and you can see contact there as they were going.
I don't know.
It was real close, though. Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't have thrown the flag.
Yeah,
I'm just going to be honest.
I agree.
I know it looks awkward, but awkward isn't a flag. I don't know if there was contact made before the ball got there.
I don't think there was enough contact that impeded his progress to catch the ball.
And that's how you know we're fair and balanced, because we believe the Ramsey call was missed, and we believe this one was missed. So see that? We're even, Steven. And see what I'm saying? They average out throughout the course of a game.
Well, for the Whippets,
it is, and it's not a first down, so it's still a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3.
Yeah, 3rd down and about 2, and Marshall Shepard is going to run it ahead. Penalty marker will come out.
It's going to be a hold.
He'll get down to the 15-yard line. It's not enough for a first down, but as you mentioned, penalty marker comes out, and if that's a hold on the Whippets, that is a big penalty.
Yeah, I think it was on the left side of the offensive line there. Somewhere on the left side. That's what it looked like to me.
It is a hold on Shelby.
Yep.
Coach Ryan Carter out onto the field.
So I would want to know where they're at. If it's 4th and 3, 4th and 2.
At least 4th and 2.
Here's the thing. I mean, let's be honest. Do you really want to give Shelby 2 more plays with the way they throw the ball? Or, and I'm not saying not take it, Aaron. I'm just saying it's something to think about.
And they're going to take it.
Yeah. And I would too. I want you to know I would too. But I'm just saying, when you have an offense like Shelby's that could score from anywhere on the field, that could pick up a first down from anywhere on the field, sometimes you'd rather have the down than the actual yardage.
I'll tell you what, as the Whippets come out here on 3rd down.
Man, what a game.
They got to get down to the Clyde 14-yard line for a first down. And right now they're on the 29, so 15 yards to go. Shepard back to pass, throws a dart left side around the 21. He got it to Andre Hill, and he'll get out of bounds. So they go about 8 yards on that throw and catch.
It's going to create about a 4th and 8, Aaron.
4th down, and as Eric mentioned, the ball at the 21, got to get down to the 14-yard line. So for the Whippets, 4th, and I'll say, look at the field, about 7. We'll call it 7. 4th and about 7 for the Whippets. Ball at the Clyde 21. A lot of game to go, 10:55, but this is a big play.
This is a monster play, and Shelby's actually answered these types of situations.
Here we go, 4th down, pressure coming. Shepard's going to step up, going to throw it. Got Blaine Bowman inside the 10. He'll be tackled down near the 5. What a throw and what a catch by the senior wideout.
Man, great pitch and catch right there. I almost thought Marshall, when he stepped up, he was going to take off and run. I almost thought he could have run for that first down, but great pitch and catch. Like I said, Aaron, it's really hard to stop an offense like Shelby on 4 straight plays, as well as they throw the football.
Blaine Bowman had to go up with both hands to haul it in. First and goal at the 5. Whippets, they'll bring a man in motion. Shepard's going to keep it, going to roll inside the 5, going to be grabbed and shoved back. Terrific defensive play by the linebacker. Abraham Morrison for Clyde got right in there. They give him any forward progress? No yards at all. Thought maybe he got close to the 4. They'll say no gain. Keep him at the 5. Credit Clyde right there.
Yeah.
That linebacker flew in.
Yeah, great job there. You know, you look at what they do there. Number 8 there, Morrison right there. Abraham Morrison just doing a nice job filling. Because I actually thought there was some room for him to run, and that thing just got swallowed up.
That gap closed in a hurry.
That thing closed real quick.
Under 10 to play in the ball game. It's Clyde 28, Shelby 21. Whippets second and goal.
Timeout
from the Clyde 5-yard line, and Coach Mahaney says we are going to talk about this. Timeout Whippets. We'll keep it right here. It's high school football on iHeartRadio. It is powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. After the game, we'll hand out our pizza from the Heck Law offices, our Heck of a Play in Giannino's. A lot of candidates for player of the game, Heck of a Play, Spitzer Motors Game Changer, and we'll sort it all out coming up in the postgame. 9:48 from now. It is Shelby trailing Clyde 28-21. Have we got any updates from Arlen Field? I have not got an update in a while.
Yeah.
10-7 Mansfield Senior.
I'll tell you what, Aaron.
Are we third or fourth quarter on that? We're checking on that.
Yeah, Van Wert up 40 to 20.
Van Wert up 40 to 20 on Wauseon. So Van Wert looks poised to play for a regional semifinal next week.
Yeah. I'll tell you
the winner of this game will face the winner of Van Wert and Wauseon. Oh, Hank in the game. Okay, Padua has now taken a 13-7 lead.
Here we go.
Sorry, 13-10. 13-10, Padua on top of Mansfield Senior. About 6 minutes to play in the game there. Shepard back to pass. He'll throw it to Andre Hill, who was coming across the middle and around the 4. Led him a little bit too much. It'll be incomplete.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Third and goal from the Clyde 5.
Right there looked like the backer almost wrapped his arm around his hip and kind of turned Andre there.
I thought maybe somebody got in there a little bit early. Hard to tell.
Now, having said that, this is the type of game, listen, there's going to be little hand placement, movement, body manipulate. I mean, it's going to happen. Listen, this game, this is one of those games you want the players to decide it. So, some of those things that might have been called penalties earlier in the game may not be right now. It's got to be egregious.
9:44 to go in the game. Whippets down a score. Third and goal from the Clyde 5. Shepard scrambling. He's going to throw it. The ball's going to be knocked down. Nearly intercepted. One of the Flyers got in there. And that time it was Jay Plummer, the junior defensive back, knocking the ball away. Thought he was nearly going to intercept the football. We got the replay from the OH report here in the booth. Shepard going down, and nearly stepped in front of Blaine Bowman for the interception. It's now fourth and
Here
goal.
We go, Aaron.
Fourth and goal, Shelby at the Clyde 5-yard line. Whippets down 7, 9:37 to go.
Shelby has had success in these situations a bunch today.
Shepard 5 wide, claps the hands, back to pass. He'll throw it right corner of the end zone. Got Blaine Bowman out.
He got it.
Did he catch that football? Blaine Bowman got it. Right corner of the end zone. Goes out of bounds, slips, and falls, and he got it. And the Whippets on fourth and goal strike. Shepard to Bowman, who's had a monster second half.
Man, what a play, huh, Aaron? Aaron, when he threw that ball, I knew it was on target. I didn't know if he threw it out of the back of the end zone.
Man.
But he
it's
dropped
like a rainbow,
that
wasn't it?
thing just fell from a satellite right down into Blaine. And here's the thing, what a catch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a great throw, but what a catch by Blaine Bowman. Mr. Smooth, man.
Mr. Reliable, Blaine Bowman, as Marshall Shepard out for the point after. Kick on the way, and that kick is good. And we are tied. Shelby, Clyde, 28-28, 9:28 to go in the football game, just the way you drawed it up,
Hey,
right?
listen, like I said, 28-28. Everybody's scoring this half, right? It's just like one of the.
Everybody scored every time. Yeah, every possession.
Who is going to have the ball last? That's right, or who's going to flinch first, right? So this is like an old school boxing analogy, prize fight. Just guys laying punch after laying punch. So who's going to flinch first? Who's going to open their body up to a knockout, right? Who's going to have that first turnover? Who's going to get the big stop? How's that going to happen here? So Shelby has been just kind of getting road graded on the ground defensively, and obviously on the offensive side, Shelby's just throwing the ball all over the field. Aaron, I don't know for sure. I'm sure that Travis has it here, but Shelby has just absolutely killed it on 4th down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and by the way, if the pressure wasn't on that throw and catch.
Jeez, that's what he does, man. He's drinking liquid nitrogen, baby.
10 plays on that drive, 61 yards, 3:36 off the clock, 28-28, 9.5 to play in the game in the regional quarterfinal. Clyde will take the kickoff. Good return across the 40, 45, and near midfield as the Flyers once again will start with excellent field position. It was Griffin Knopfs, the senior, returns the ball to the Clyde 49-yard line. And I'll tell you what, all night tonight, Clyde has started near midfield or in Shelby territory.
Yeah, and there's the replay.
How about that catch?
That's a 2-footer, man. I think that's a catch in the NFL.
He even avoided the pylon.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, you know what? How about him respecting property?
I know, not knocking over the pylon.
You know, he is a very nice young man.
He's a pretty good catcher in baseball as well. All right, here we go. Handoff, Clyde Daniels, right side into Shelby territory, down near the 48-yard line. He'll get a couple. Xander Wilkins in on the stop for the Whippets, who they got back from injury, and that's been key on that Whippet offense and defensive line. Give him 3 yards to the Shelby 48-yard line. Clyde, 2nd and 7. Tied with Shelby at 28, 9 to play in the football game. You can say every play, every snap the rest of the way going to be crucial.
This is what we want, though, Aaron. This is the type of game we love calling.
Clyde, and the ball's going to be snapped, Bob, when it's loose, and the Whippets say they have it, and they do. Caleb Baker gets up with the football, and the Whippets take over. A bobbled snap by the quarterback at midfield, and I believe it was Baker that fell on it.
Yeah, it is, and you know what? Right there, he never got it. I mean, the ball actually hit him, and he was turning to hand it off before he ever had control of it. Caleb Baker gets it. What I just say, starting this drive. The first team that flinches, turns it over, has a big penalty, and right now Shelby's going to get the place on, opportunistic, right on the 50, right in the middle of my obstructed view. So thank God for the OH report having their their screen up here for me. Otherwise, I'm staring in the Bermuda Triangle here.
You got it. Midfield for the Whippets. Tied at 28 after the turnover. Low snap. Shepard feels it. Pressure coming. Screen. Andre Hill lost it. Did not bring it in. Clyde was hoping he had it long enough for a fumble. He did not even bring it in. It'll be incomplete at midfield, and Shepard had all kind of pressure coming in his lap. Just had to get rid of it in a hurry.
Yeah, here we go. So
incomplete to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Whippets. Midfield tied at 28 with Clyde with 8:41 to go in the game. Winner moves on to the regional semifinals, and we'll play the winner of Van Wert and Wasion next Friday night. 5 wide for Shelby. On 2nd down and 10 from midfield. You can just feel the pressure in this game right now.
You can literally feel the box shaking from just the people hitting their stand, the bleachers down below us. Like every play, you can feel the box moving. Shelby just jumped.
Yeah, penalty on the Whippets.
Yeah, delay a game. How does that happen? You got 40 seconds, man. Oh, they called a timeout. So here, and once again, so now you've burnt your 2nd timeout. So if you need your timeouts going down the stretch here, so if you're Shelby, you better do something with this drive because you're out of timeouts, or not out, but you're down to 1 timeout. You've burnt 2. This game, man, everything's amplified right now.
All right, Mansfield Senior trails Parma Padua Franciscan 13-10, 5:01 left in the game. And it looks like it will be 3rd and 10 for Senior High from their own 47-yard line, as that game is tight at Arlen Field. It can be heard on WMAN right here, My 100.1, and the OH report hooking up to bring you Shelby and Clyde in a dandy here from Robert Bishop Stadium. With 8:41 to go in the football game. Again, all knotted up, 28-28. Check all the scores on the North Central State College High School Football Scoreboard. It's at our website. It's brought to you by North Central State College. NC State can change your life and prepare you to change the world. ncstatecollege.edu. Whippets, 2nd and 10 from midfield. 5 wide, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Shepard by himself in the gun, claps the hands. Bowman in motion to the right. There's the snap. Back to pass. He's got time. Going to fire one left side. Got
That is a
Andre Hill
bomb.
out there. Andre Hill hit the defensive back for Clyde. May have hit him in the helmet or the shoulder pad.
hit him
And
in
the
the
ball
helmet.
is incomplete. Good coverage by Clyde. They were running stride for stride with Andre Hill.
Hey, Marshall Shepard just yelled $5 and threw the ball as far as he could right there. Did you see it? I mean, that is an absolute bomb. His feet are on the 42-yard line, and that ball lands
Right on the helmet. Hit him right in the helmet.
Oh, right around the 10. I mean, that was like a 50-some-yard ball in the air.
That was Jay Plummer. You couldn't do that again if you tried. Maybe Marshall could, right?
Yeah, Marshall
Yeah,
could.
Marshall could.
Shooting fish in a barrel, baby.
3rd and 10 from midfield. Back to pass. Shepard right side going to throw it over the receiver. He had Andre Hill, but he overthrew him by several feet. And Andre Hill, as the ball goes incomplete, will head back to the huddle, and the Whippets have it 4th and 10 from midfield.
On Shelby.
And there is a penalty. Thank you.
And I would imagine they're going to decline that.
That was in my no-view zone. Thank you for catching that.
Was that 3rd down? I thought that was 3rd down.
That was 3rd down. It would be 4th down
Yes,
if not for the penalty. They'll decline it. They will decline it.
Yeah,
Clyde
4th
will
down. Okay.
hold on the Whippets.
Yeah.
So it will be 4th and 10 from midfield if you're Rob Mahaney. 4th and 10 from midfield.
Yeah, get off the field here. That's the
punt
right
the ball.
call. Then that's fine. Listen, let Shelby do this. I would call their bluff. I would assume Marshall's going to take a step or two back and punt this football.
All right, so 4th and 10, Shelby, midfield. 8:31 to go in the game. Tied at 28 with Clyde, and he will punt it away. And Shepard gets a pretty good boot. It'll hit inside the 10, roll
Look
to
at that.
around the 7. Garrett Baker, Isaiah Ramsey letting it roll another yard down to the 6. It was almost ready to hang on at the 7, but it was still rolling. And Clyde will have it at their own 6-yard line. 8:21 to go in the game, tied at 28. Mansfield Senior in a great game as well. Down 13-10 with around 5 minutes to go in that game at Arlen Field. So we got a couple of Richland County schools right now in what you would call a dog fight late in the fourth quarter.
Listen, this is what Clyde hangs their hat on. This situation right here. Power running game, milk the clock, go 90-some yards.
Well, they're going to hand it off to Daniels. He'll work his way and pull his way ahead as he's going to get across the 10. David Ray rode him to the turf around just across the 12. Didn't look like initially there was going to be a lot of room, but you got to be impressed the way Michael Daniels runs.
Yeah, he runs hard. He runs behind his pads. When people use that term, that means he's over top of his pads. 187 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns today.
Not a bad,
looking to add to that here down the stretch. So, listen, Clyde's in no hurry. They're going to milk this clock. As far as they're concerned, go ahead and take the next 7:45 off the clock, punch it in the end zone, and get out of here with a 35-28 win.
Well, that's what's on the clock on 2nd and 4. They'll hand it off to Daniels. He'll work his way across the 20 and ride the defender across the 25. David Ray out near the 28, maybe the 29-yard line. Another first down for Clyde, and it has been a lot of Michael Daniels here in the second half as he's well over 90 yards, pushing his way toward 100.
Yeah,
or 200.
Yeah, David Ray hopping on the Michael Daniels Polar Express here. Did you see him riding that train? I'm serious. He went for about 6-7 yards on that
Polar
thing.
Express will be here before you know it,
will
my friend.
be, brother.
You know that. We are into the month of November. 1st and 10, Clyde at their own 29. Handoff. Good job by the Whippets. Initially breaks a tackle and spins his way like a tornado out near the 35. Man,
and here's the thing on
spinning
that.
like a top.
Yeah, he picks up 6 yards, and Aaron, he's hit right around the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's a line of scrimmage. Connor Henkel gets him. Cam Armstrong gets him. Like, you've got to wrap up. You know what I mean? It's not.
You got to stop those legs.
He is a physical runner. If you do not get your arms, if you do not wrap him up, he is going to carry you forward. Okay. He runs like his offensive linemen play. If you're an offensive lineman, you love a guy like Daniels running behind you.
2nd and 4, Clyde at their own 35-yard line. Just over 6.5 to play in the game. Tied at 28. Cook back to pass. Pressure coming. Going to roll out left side, and he's going to get across the 40 and out of bounds. First down into the sideline where they're going to spot him out of bounds. He's across the 40 near the 43-yard line. So that's a good 8-yard gallop there for the quarterback, Jaden Cook. First down and a big one for Clyde to their own 43-yard line. Under 6.5 to play in the game. And as you mentioned, Clyde right now moving that football from the 6-yard line out across the 40.
Yeah, the only thing they're upset about there is the fact he ran out of bounds.
Hand off to the near side. Daniels got room to run into Whippet territory. Breaks a tackle. He'll be grabbed and dropped by Garrett Baker at the 40-yard line. But again, another about 17-yard run there for the running back Michael Daniels, who is well north of 200 now, and he is running, as you would say, like he's angry at the grass.
He's running like he's angry at the grass, buddy. And you know what? He doesn't have great top-end speed, but he's explosive. He's got good vision, and he knows how to run behind his pads. Yeah, he's a solid running back at 213 pounds as well. So that's a lot of meat on 5'11".
1st and 10, Clyde at the Shelby 40-yard line, under 6 to play in the game. Tied at 28, handoff, and Connor Hankel will grab Daniels right at the line of scrimmage. He'll struggle forward for a yard. Good job by the senior linebacker for the Whippets.
Yeah, that's a good job. Connor Hankel coming from his weak linebacker spot there. Listen, Aaron, here's what I'm seeing when you watch this. I'm seeing Caleb Baker. I'm seeing David Ray. I'm seeing those guys getting driven 3, 4, 5 yards off the ball now. So Shelby's got to tighten up, man. You can't be giving up 3, 4 yards off the line.
5:24 to go in the game. 2nd and 9 for Clyde at the Shelby 39-yard line. Handoff to Daniels. Going to get his way inside the 35 and down near the 33 as Daniels will pick up good chunk of yards right there. 41 down to the 33 and bring up 3rd down and close to 4 for Clyde.
Yeah, and they're just eating this clock up, man. We're now under 5 minutes, and what did I tell you at the onset of this game? You might be able to hang with them for the first quarter, maybe the second, maybe the third, but Clyde prides themselves on grinding defensive fronts down for 4 quarters and then getting behind their Daniels and letting him run and just eat defenses up.
3rd down and 4 from the 33. Handoff, Daniels, he will not get the first down as Garrett Baker came flying in from a strong safety spot, jumped on his back and rode him to the ground just inside the 32.
Man.
To bring up, Eric Well, 4th.
And a long yard, maybe 2.
Maybe 2 you want to call it. And
I wouldn't be surprised if
4th and about 2.
If the Clyde coaches here let this run all the way down.
They are it.
Take it to 1 second.
They're at Shelby's 32-yard line.
Burn a timeout.
4:10 to go in the game. Clyde under center. Daniels behind the quarterback. He'll turn. He'll hand the football off. He'll have the first down and more. Inside the 30, inside the 25. Hankel and Bowman will tackle him at, looks like inside the 25, down near the 24 is where they'll put him. So he needed a couple, and he got 5.
Well, or keep your timeout and just go ahead and hand the ball off to Daniels and let him get another 6, 7, 8 yards.
Daniels has looked like
too.
He's been running downhill this entire second half.
You know, and I like the way, you know, Clyde diversified. In the second half, Aaron, all we've really seen is this power look out of Clyde. They haven't gotten tricky at all. They've gotten very simple.
Yeah, 1st and 10 at Shelby's 24. Handoff again to Daniels. He'll be tackled by Hankel at the 20 or just shy of the 20-yard line.
I mean, it's still 3, 4 yards. You know what I mean? I mean, even when you feel like you had success, it's still a 3 or 4 yard run. They're just, right now, Clyde is just winning at the point of attack. So what's off this, Aaron? We've seen power. We've seen stretch, and then they come back with the counter. So don't be surprised if you see the counter coming back here.
2nd and 7 for Clyde. The ball is at Shelby's 21-yard line. Handoff. No, the quarterback's going to keep it. Hankel got him by the leg, but he'll struggle forward, get down to the 20, maybe just inside the 20. Put him just inside the 20-yard line. Jaden Cook had nowhere to go, struggled forward, picked up a couple of yards. Big 3rd down coming up for Clyde. The nose of the ball just inside the Whippet red zone, inside the 20. They got to get down to around the 14-yard line for a first down, so about 6 yards here on 3rd down.
It's a great job by Connor Hankel staying home on that.
2:35 to go in the game. Handoff right side. Daniels, he got drilled at the 15-yard line. A penalty marker comes in. Garrett Baker made the stop at the 15. It is not a first down. There is a penalty.
I wonder what that call is.
It came in from the side. That's going to be a hold. It's going to be a hold on Clyde, and that's a big one because it would have been 4th and about a yard.
Yeah, so it's going to push you back. So now you're going to be looking at about a 3rd,
about 11.
15.
Oh, I'm sorry, hold. You're right, 10 yards back.
So, yeah, it's just interesting because you generally don't get that a lot.
We can tell you West Holmes has defeated Tiffin Columbia in 28-25. How about the Knights coming back in that game?
They were down 13-0 in that game, so that's a big win. West Holmes gritty, man. They're a really good football
Coach
team.
Gardner has done a great job.
Great
All right,
team.
3rd and 16 for Clyde. The ball at the Shelby 31-yard line. Got to get down to the 14. Cook back to pass. He'll throw it. Got a receiver at the 20-yard line. He'll catch it and get down to around the 19 Quick pitch and catch that time went to Andrew Caldwell, who caught a touchdown, the big one, at the end of the first half. And Clyde now has it fourth down and about 5 yards to go. And as they head to the line of scrimmage, the clock reads 2:05 to go. 4th and 5 at the Whippet 19-yard line. Cook is the Whippets.
Wow, I thought he jumped.
We thought somebody
Wow,
moved.
I'll tell you what, I could not believe.
A lot of people moving, and the Whippets looked like they jumped.
I thought for sure he jumped in the neutral zone. Wow, I thought A.J. Cornett fell into the neutral zone.
Did Clyde call a timeout?
Yeah, I think they did.
A half second before he jumped, I don't know.
And here's what people have to understand is, remember, in high school, once you break the ball,
that's it.
It's not like college or pro where you get a free play as long as you don't make contact. As soon as you break that neutral zone, it's an automatic infraction. I'll tell you what, that was really close. So
Travis Brody tells us that was inches.
And A.J. Cornett is not a small human being, so if he didn't go across, I'm sure the official would have seen him. It's not like he's like, when you see Sully on Monsters, Inc., he's just a big human being there. So
what a ball game here tonight in Clyde at Robert Bishop Stadium. 1:55 to go in the game. It is Shelby and Clyde tied at 28. Flyers have the football. 4th and 5 at Shelby's 19-yard line. Oh boy, you want to talk about monster play in this game right here.
And here's what Clyde's had success on. They're throwing to the strength of the quarterback. This is where you get your half sprint out. That little curl's been wide open for Clyde almost the whole game.
Cook claps the hands, man in motion. He'll look to the sideline. Play clock at 11. Now Clyde will get set in the offense. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Quarterback's going to roll to the right, going to throw it. Got a man out there. He caught it.
No way.
He did not get the first down. Caleb Baker tackles.
Now Connor Henkel.
I'm sorry, Connor Henkel. Thank you. Connor Henkel tackles the receiver that time. Olsen, who did not get that first down. Good job by Connor Henkel at around the 16-yard line. They had to get down to the 14, and Connor Henkel with a big stop for that Whippet defense.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Aaron, that's no small task. Listen, I think they started on the 6-7 yard line there.
They started on the
6 yard line, and they just worked it all the way down inside the red zone, and Shelby got a big stop on downs. It wasn't even a turnover, so you got a minute 46. Now listen, if I'm Coach Mahaney here, go try to win the game. Do not play for overtime. You're on the road. Your team is equipped for tempo. Go win the football game.
Built for moving it down the field in a hurry. 1:48 to go as Shelby takes over deep in their own end. Shepard's going to fire one. Got it, man. It's Bowman, who's been big in the second half. He's got it at the 30-yard line. He'll be tackled right there. The line of scrimmage was the 17. That is a 13-yard catch. Holman Kitchen Supply first down. Clock running. 1:37 to go in the game. Whippets 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
I don't understand this. You get up to the line and get going. You've already burnt 20 seconds off. Get your play in and get moving. I don't understand. It's taking too much time.
Just settled right now. Back to pass Shepard. He'll unload right side. Got him out there. It's Isaiah. Isaiah Ramsey right through his hands at the 21-yard line. That was a score. And he just right through his hands. Oh, man, would he love to have that one back. Wow.
Yeah, you don't get too many of those, man.
Shepard dropped that baby right in his hands.
I'm without words.
Wow.
He walks into the end zone, Aaron.
He would walk in for a score.
Because ain't nobody catching that deer. I'm just telling you, that's a heartbreak there.
He would just love to have that one back. He extended the arms and hit him in the fingers and just could not bring it in. So 3rd down and 10 for the Whippets. 2nd and 10 for the Whippets. The ball is at their own 30-yard line. 1:16 to play. Shepard back to pass. Going to throw it. Going to be caught to the near side. That's Bowman across the 40. He'll be tackled at the 44-yard line by Olsen on the stop there for Clyde. Clock with 1:08 and now rolling as they set the ball. That's a Holman Kitchen Supply first down. So the Whippets, who have a timeout left, they used a couple, as Eric Will mentioned. Under a minute to play. 1st and 10 from their own 45. Shepard back to pass. He'll step up. All kinds of time. Got Bowman into Clyde territory. Inside the 45. They'll ride him out of bounds near the 41 and out of bounds to stop the clock.
And that's your senior doing what a senior should do. Get your keister out of bounds and save yourself a timeout. They're in plus territory. 46 seconds. Heads up play by Brady Bowman there. Good job by Marshall. You got a 3-man rush. If the one changeup I'd make if I'm Clyde, I would bring a backer. I would try to get Marshall off his platform a little bit because he's just kind of back there shooting fish in a barrel right now.
One out of bounds at the 42. 46 seconds to play in the game. Tied at 28. Shelby, 1st and 10. At the Clyde 44, Shepard back to pass, going to step up, got to get out of there, and he will not. They'll grab him and throw him down at the 45-yard line for a couple-yard loss. And the Whippets are going to have to burn a timeout with 33 seconds to play in the game as they'll have a 3-yard loss, and that pocket collapsed in a hurry.
Yeah, and that's bringing the 4th guy. Did you see that, Aaron? Instead of doing a 3-man rush, they did a 4-man rush there, and it collapsed and got to him. Now, remember, everything you're looking at here is would be equivalent to a 5 or a 7-step drop. So everything that you're doing, there's almost like an outlet underneath, and everybody else is running deep.
Mansfield Senior final score has lost. Parma Padua Franciscan down 10-0 at halftime. Outscores Mansfield Senior 13-0 in the second half. Final score, Parma Padua Franciscan
How about that?
13, Mansfield Senior 10. And Mansfield Senior did not score a touchdown with their offense tonight.
Yeah, and here's the thing. What have we said? Their defense has been their calling card. Their offense had played better as of late. But, if you were to come in here and tell me that they were going to lose a 10-point lead, I'd have said you were crazy, though, with that defense. So congratulations to Parma Padua there. And great year for the Tigers as well.
Who's going to be really good next year as well.
Oh, yeah, real good.
Bring a lot of guys back.
Yep, got the young QB coming up.
Tight, tense moments in Clyde. 36 seconds to play in the game. 2nd down, 13 for the Whippets.
There's not
Clyde 45, right side pass going to be caught. Andre Hill inside the 40, out of bounds. Where? 38-yard line is where he'll go out of bounds.
Aaron, that's crazy because Shelby had quads to the left. Clyde only had 3 defenders. They were completely lined up wrong. They actually had 2 deep to the other side. If Shelby would have taken advantage of that, that would have been wide open on this side. It was a simple numbers game. They lost it.
32 seconds to play in the game. Tied at 28. Whippets.
See, look at this, Aaron. We got quads. Okay, they're bringing a guy over. See, that guy did not come over
Whippets
last time.
3rd down and about 6 yards to go. Just inside the Clyde 40. Pressure on. Shepard's going to run. He's going to throw it toward the sideline. Got hit as he went down. The ball incomplete into the sideline as the clock stops with 25 seconds to play in the game, and 4th down coming up for the Whippets and about 6 yards to go. The ball at the Clyde 38-yard line. Eric Will, 4th down.
I know this sounds crazy, but don't be surprised if you
out of timeouts.
Well, if you get Ramsey here on a go route, it's not crazy because I'm telling you, I know he dropped one earlier, but this is a chance for redemption for the young pup, and he's got the speed and the.
And the Whippets are going to punt it. Shepard is going to boot it inside the 10. It'll hop into the end zone for a touchback with 19 seconds to play. I think a lot of people thought, like you said, they might try and pick up that first down on 4th and 6 from the Clyde 38-yard line, but he'll boot it. It'll skip into the end zone for a touchback, and Clyde will have it at the 20. 19 seconds to play here in the game in the 4th quarter, all tied at 28, and I think what a lot of people remember is what Clyde did at the end of the first half.
That's not a bad play call there by Coach Mahaney and his group going ahead and punting that thing. If you don't get that first down, we saw him score in the first half in 16 seconds. So, go ahead and play the field position there. Not a bad call.
Clyde's got 2 timeouts.
Yeah, and trust me, Clyde's going to try to do something with this. I'd be surprised if they don't.
Great football game here tonight, tied at 28. Late stages, 4th quarter, 19 seconds to play. Clyde 1st and 10 from their own 20. Pass to the near side, caught by the receiver. He'll get out of bounds. That is Brady Wilson. He's across the 25, and they'll spot him at the 28-yard line. So he gets 8 yards. 4 seconds go off the clock. 15 seconds to play. Clyde still with 2 timeouts as he gets out of bounds. 2nd down and 2 again from their own 28-yard line. If you're the Whippets, I can hear you right now. Just keep it in front of you now.
Yeah, just keep it in front of you. Don't fall for any double moves here. Keep everything in front.
5 wide receivers back to pass. Cook's going to fire one left side, and the Whippets got a defensive back out there. Braden Stone nearly had the interception over the shoulder, not able to bring it in. It'll fall incomplete with 8 seconds to play around the Whippet 35-yard line.
That's a good job by Braden Stone there. Way to stay back, keep everything in front of you. The only sin you have right now is anybody getting behind you in your quarter there. So keep everything in front, rally up, tackle it. You've essentially got maybe 2 plays, maybe only 1.
So the Whippets, little prevent defense is not allowing Clyde to get down the field, and 8 seconds is what's left in the game. Tied at 28. Flyers 3rd and 2 on their own 28-yard line. 3 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Daniels the back beside Cook in the gun. Back to pass. Pressure's coming. He'll step up. Gonna fire a missile down the right side. It'll hit at around the 23-yard line. Nobody even close to it. The nearest guy was one of the Whippets, Wayne Bowman. It'll be incomplete with 2 seconds to play in the football game, and this one has 1 more play left in it with 2 seconds. And if Clyde can't find its way in the end zone, we're headed for some extra football.
You know what? This is where you get your hook and ladders, your little lateral plays. You know, that's what you do here. If you've got them, pull them out. You know, all you got. I'm serious. Just run something in the curl, catch it, flip it, see if you can get something like that.
4th and 2 for Clyde from their own 28-yard line. 2 seconds left.
Oh,
quarterback's going to drop back, and as he went to kneel down and fall down, coming flying in was Caleb Baker. Went low and hit him, and a penalty marker will come out.
Yeah, that's going to be 50. The game can't end on a defensive penalty.
So Clyde's
they're going to get 15 yards.
And get 1 play.
Now, if I'm Clyde, I would burn a timeout and run a play here. You're going to get a free 15 yards, Aaron, so you're going to be pushing now the 45-yard line.
I'll be honest with you.
I know what, but if you're Caleb Baker, you got to be smarter than that. I mean, you know, you can't come flying in and lunge. Listen, even if you come up and he ducks down, it's not a very good pay or defensive play there.
All right, so 15-yard penalty will move the football. As you mentioned, 15 yards down the field, and even though that clock reads triple zeros, there will be 1 untimed down here for the Clyde Flyers. The ball moved out to the Clyde 43. 28-28, 4th quarter. Goose eggs on the board, but because of the defensive penalty by the Whippets on the hit by Caleb Baker, it'll be 1 untimed down from their own 43-yard line. Coach Ryan Carter in his 9th year. Clyde's made the playoffs all 9 years he's been at Clyde, including a state title 2 years ago in 2019. Will come out of the sideline. Whatever he drew up, let's see what happens.
Yeah, like I said, I'm serious, man. I literally would. I'm not joking. I would run some type of like curl route with like a pitch or something underneath it. That's all you got to do, because Shelby's going to be playing off. So they're going to be in a zone. They're going to be playing off. All it takes is 1 pitch. Guys get out of their lane and you go. I mean, think about Boise State against Oklahoma. It looks something like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, the officials are gathering back at the 30-yard line. Clyde was huddling on the sideline. I don't know exactly what they're talking about at the moment.
Got ourselves a barn burner here. I don't know if you know that or not. This is a decent game here.
Not many times are you calling a game where there's no time on the clock and still got 1 more play because of the defensive penalty, and the officials will break their huddle.
Yeah, I don't know what the huddle
I don't know what
here.
they're talking about.
I mean, this is...
There's a correction. The foul occurred at the 10-yard line. Be administered from there, 15 yards. However, it will be 4th down, 1 at a time down.
Okay, so what they're going to say is they
spot foul.
Yeah.
Because I see
the penalty happened at the 10, so they'll move it to the 25-yard line. They had moved the ball out to the 43. Now Clyde would have loved the 43 because been a little closer to that end zone.
Yep.
Instead, Clyde will have it after the officials sorted out 1 play. 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Back to pass Cook. Going to throw one over the middle. Got a receiver across the 45. Midfield.
There it is.
He'll pitch it to another man at midfield. He'll be grabbed there inside midfield to the 45-yard line, and the Whippets will ride Wilson to the turf at the Shelby 46-yard line, and the clock already expired. It expires for real now, and we are headed to overtime as Shelby and Clyde tied at 28 after regulation.
Well, you know what, Aaron? This one's so good that we're like, listen, we can't do this in just 4 quarters. So, yeah, I like the play call there. So now here's what's going to happen. We're going to have a coin flip. We're going to figure whoever wins, it's always going to take defense, Aaron, because you want to see what you have to get. And then the team that doesn't win the coin flip, or that doesn't get to decide whether they want the ball or not, it gets to pick which end of the field. So that's how this works. So both teams will get an opportunity from, I believe, what is it, the 20 or 25-yard line?
25,
here.
Yes.
All I know is I was involved with these a couple of times, but this, I will say this: this is high drama.
Yeah, absolutely.
High drama, Aaron.
All right, we remind you, high school football powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. Players have a moment on the sideline. We remind you, My 100.1 tonight, teaming up with our good friends at the OH Report to bring you live high school playoff football here in the Division IV regional quarterfinal. A little bonus football here tonight. It was so good through 4 quarters. We just need a little more.
Listen,
right?
man, that's exactly right. We're like, listen.
No other way to word it.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
It's been a dynamite game.
Oh, it's been fantastic. And I love it because there's been so many momentum swings. Both teams have had a turnover. It's just been Clyde's run the ball really well. Shelby's throwing the ball really well. It's kind of like what we thought we were going to get, just maybe a little bit lower scoring. I've actually will say this. I knew Clyde's defense was for real. I've actually been impressed with Shelby's defense, even on the long drive where they started at the 6-yard line and got it inside the red zone. Shelby's defense tightening up and getting a turnover on downs. That's just, that's a bend but don't break right there, because I thought that might be the game if Clyde could have got that first down.
We're a couple minutes away from the start of overtime, and we'll have, as Eric mentioned, stats. Thank you very much. All right, so we rattle off some numbers. Marshall Shepard tonight, 30 of 51, 4 touchdowns and 319 yards passing.
He needs to pick it up.
Blaine Bowman, who had a monster second half, he has 16 catches, 144 yards, and 2 scores. Andre Hill's got 11 catches for 134 yards and a touchdown. I ought to give you some impressive numbers from Clyde. A guy by the name of Michael Daniels, 35 carries, 252 yards, and 2 scores.
Wow.
He's averaging not a bad 7.1 a carry.
That's actually down. He was 7.3,
Yeah.
so... Yeah, he needs to pick that. I'm telling you, man, what we're seeing is we're seeing, I just love this because you're seeing both teams do what they do well, and it's just conflicting. You know what I mean, Aaron? And I love it. And I feel like both, like I said, Clyde's defense has been good. We know that. We know their front's nasty. And I feel like Shelby's O-line has actually done a pretty nice job today in pass pro.
Jaden Cook has thrown the ball well, 12 of 20, 159 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and what Shelby's got rushing there, because you're right, because that's kind of like, what do you do that's not your strength? And Cook's played well.
Whippets for Marshall Shepard, 27 yards rushing. He actually has 50, but when you take in the sacks and those things, he has 27 net yards. Skylar Winters has 29. Whippets just under 50 yards rushing in the ball game, and we will have our coin toss at midfield.
Yep. Yeah, Van Wert wins 53-20.
Coin toss out there with Shepard and Dylan Overmeyer. Clyde.
Boy, Overmeyer's had a great game, hasn't he?
He's had a great game. Remington Norman has been as good as advertised.
Right. But here's what I'll tell you. Everybody's A's have played like A's.
And that's
Does that make sense?
And that's what you need in a big-time playoff game.
So I love it. I mean, I'll tell you what. I tip my hat to Clyde and Shelby both. This has just been a great Ohio high school football game.
All right, so we will have overtime coming up.
So Shelby got the ball. Yep.
Shelby will not be on offense.
Whippets offense.
There will be no game clock.
No game clock, as you heard. And they'll put the ball, I believe, at the 20.
Yep.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, I think it's the 20. See, that's what I was saying. I didn't know if it was the 25 or the 20. I think in high school it's the 20.
I'll be honest with you. With all the changes in college and everything, people can get a little confused when you get to overtime.
I get you. I don't even need that.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. Already 9:42 on Friday night, and we're not done. We are going to overtime here in Clyde. Whippets will start here in overtime as they have the football at the 20-yard line. And remember, no clock, Eric, here in overtime, so you have the Whippets.
Just the play clock, that's
just the play clock. So the Whippets will come out here.
Each team gets 1 timeout. You don't carry them over either. Everybody gets 1 timeout.
I think it's good to remind people of the rules of overtime because you just don't see it all the time. And things at the college level have been so different that I want to remind people. So
the high school overtime's better than just about any level.
After we saw 9 overtimes in college, I think a lot of people.
From the 2-yard, from the 3-yard line.
All right, Whippets 1st and 10 at the Clyde 20-yard line here in overtime. Back to pass, Shepard. Going to throw it left side. Got him out there. It's Andre Hill, and he's got it.
Yep,
touchdown. Whippets, 20-yard strike. Shepard to Andre Hill for his 2nd score of the night. Dropped that baby right in his lap in the left side of the end zone.
That's a great job. And Blaine Bowman was wide open in the flat on the right-hand side, Aaron. And great job by Andre running the post corner. Get the hips turned. You see him box him out there. He used his backside. That is a great job.
Got his head turned around.
He got his head turned around, and he pinned the defensive back. And Marshall actually threw that ball right where it needed to be thrown with the defensive back playing on top.
Point after as Clyde nearly got in there. The kick is up.
That was interesting.
It is good. Oh, man, was that close.
We're going to switch right around here, Aaron, and now Clyde's on offense.
So Shelby has taken a 35-28 lead here in overtime on a 20-yard touchdown throw and catch from Shepard to Andre Hill. And now the Whippet defense will go try and win this game.
Hey, you know what? This is a Maylock smasher right here, Aaron. That's what this is. I'll tell you what, man. Clyde's not going to be tricky, man. They're going to line up in that power look. You're going to get power, stretch, counter. Power, stretch, counter. That's what you're going to get here. And it's worked almost the whole way down the field. The only time it didn't work was on the holding call. Remember, when you're running the football, you do not want a penalty.
All right, so here we go. You got to see that replay one more time. Andre Hill, terrific catch in the end zone.
That's a great play.
Here we go, Clyde. Down a score at the Shelby 20-yard line. Their try here in overtime. Handoff to Daniels. He'll be taken down low as David Ray and company. Connor Ankle came flying in on the stop. They'll spot him at about the 16. Maybe
he got about 3.
Actually, I'm going to say put him at the 17, so give him 3. 2nd down and 7, Clyde at the Shelby 17-yard line. Again, we're here in overtime, so no clock. It is 2nd down and 7 from the Whippets 17. Cook calls for the ball, turns around, hands it off to Daniels. Daniels going to be grabbed, struggled forward. Whippets did a nice job. David Ray on the bottom of that pile, Camden Armstrong and others.
Yep.
They'll ride him to the turf for no gain at the 17. What a defensive play.
Listen, man, they're like, both teams are out here just throwing haymakers. You know what I mean? Like just punch after punch, match after match. I knew what Clyde was going to bring from a physicality standpoint. I've been impressed with Shelby matching that tonight. I just, you know, their defense has just played so opportunistic, putting them in a 3rd and 7. Now remember, Clyde's got 2 plays here. You're really treating this almost like 2nd and 7.
3rd and 7 from the Shelby 17-yard line. Down to score to Shelby here in overtime. 4 wide receivers. Cook's going to roll to pass, going to throw it. Got him in the end zone, and he caught it. Touchdown, Clyde, here in overtime. That ball in the end zone caught by Griffin Knopfs. And Clyde, a PAT away from sending this one a little bit further.
Yeah, he looked like I was watching The Sound of Music, and the gal there was singing in the middle of that field. There wasn't anybody around him. Look at him right there, Aaron, just kind of running through the middle of the field. There's not too many times on a football field you can run literally right in the middle of the field, and your closest person to you is a teammate. So great design there by Clyde on a 3rd and 7. Listen, extra points huge here. If you're Shelby, go get yourself a rush. You get a block, you get a win. So this is a huge extra point.
3rd touchdown pass for the quarterback, Jaden Cook. Point after by Dickman. Snap, down, kick on the way, and that kick is good. And we are headed to double overtime. Clyde and Shelby tied at 35. And we'll go at least one more round here from Robert Bishop Stadium here in Clyde in a back and forth affair where I'm not charting, but maybe one punt by Marshall Shepard in the second half. That's been it, right? It's been just offense galore.
It's been a turnover, a punt.
That's right, turnover at midfield by Clyde,
which was huge. And so Clyde's now back out on offense. So here's what happens. You go, Shelby has the ball, they score. Clyde has the ball, they score. Now Clyde comes back out on offense, and Shelby's defense now has to respond. So, oh boy. And Aaron, we switch ends of the field, of course, because we can't just play on one end of the field. I don't understand this either. Just play on one end of the field. Just pick an end and play. Listen, everybody's tired right now, okay?
I don't think you need to have another
Yeah, we don't need to jog down to the other
yeah,
end. What's wrong with just playing at this end of the field? I think that this end of the field looks just as good as that end of the field.
Yeah, the field looks great here at Clyde.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, it's not like we're tearing up grass or anything. Now, if this was played at Shelby, we'd have to go out to the parking lot and finish this game because their field looks like mashed potatoes and gravy right now.
It was a muddy mess a week ago in the playoff opener against Clear Fork. And here we go as we're ready for overtime number 2. And I mean, I'm just trying to make the point. You just feel like this is slowing this down by doing this again.
I don't understand why we have to meet again. I mean, we know what's going on.
So we are going back to the same end, though.
Yep.
You good with this one?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I need some water.
High school playoff football. It is the regional quarterfinal tonight. Shelby and Clyde headed to double overtime, tied at 35. And we will see the Clyde Fliers offense out first as they just scored to tie it up at 35. And now they will get the first chance here in double overtime. So here we go. Cook and company to the line. Back to pass, left side, throw it, caught the receiver, going to be hit inside the 15 and down near the 12-yard line. And actually, that time on the catch, trying to see who that was for Clyde. Yeah, they went that time to Olsen. It was Caden Olsen who caught the pass to the near side. Disappears when they run to the left here. I get blocked out, so Clyde will have it at the 12-yard line of the Whippets. 1st and 10. They'll hand it off to Daniels. Second down in a couple. Daniels will have the first down there. He'll get inside the 10, just inside the 10, and 1st and goal Clyde from just inside Shelby's 10-yard line. Made a nice little cut there to the left.
Yeah, that was a nice little jet. That got him the first down. And so here we go. Now you got 1st and goal just inside the 10. We'll see what the Clyde Fliers can dial up here. This has been a heavy run, specifically heavy run to the right.
Tied at 35 in double overtime. Handoff to Daniels, and he got drilled and sandwiched. Garrett Baker and also David Ray sandwiched him at around the 5-yard line.
Yeah, he's down around the 5. And well, I tell you what, that right side of the line, all that is, Aaron, is just down block, down block, down block.
2nd and goal from the 5. They'll hand it off to Daniels, but hang on. Penalty marker flies, and somebody moved for Clyde. They just weren't ready, or somebody moved.
That's on the quarterback. He's got to let him get set for a half count. They just went too quick. They weren't down. You got to be set for a full count before the ball snaps. So Cook's got to slow it down one beat.
So 2nd now and goal from the 10 as they'll back that up 5 yards. And I know for the Whippet defense, maybe they can have that penalty help them out a little bit. Try to keep Clyde out of the end zone. Double overtime, tied at 35. Shelby and Clyde. Fliers ball, 2nd and goal at the Whippet 10-yard line. They'll move a man. They'll hand the football coming to the near side. Breaks a tackle initially and struggles down forward around the 5. That time was Dylan Overmeyer, the stud linebacker, got the carry that time. He'll get down to the 5, so he gets that 5-yard penalty back. 3rd and goal, Clyde from the Shelby 5.
Here we go, and I'll tell you what, don't be surprised to see it again. There it is.
There it is, handed off to the right side. They're going to struggle forward, and they're going to push him into the end zone.
Wow, that's just 1-2 right there.
Touchdown, Clyde Fliers. As they just push the running back into the end zone. I believe that was Daniels on the carry, or was that Overmeyer again? They disappeared into a sea of people, and it was Daniels. It was Daniels on the carry.
Man.
That's a 5-yard.
Aaron, that was like an old school rugby scrum right there. They just put
the
ball in there and then just picked them up and run. Yeah, that was almost a score by the offensive line.
5-yard touchdown run by Daniels. And Clyde, 41-35 on top here in double overtime. Will tack on the point after. Snap back. Dickman's kick is on the way, and it is good. Clyde, 42. Shelby, 35, double overtime, and the Whippets will have a chance to send this game to a 3rd overtime, or maybe even try to win it here.
Last time we were here, Aaron, Mansfield was playing.
Sandusky.
And what happened?
Mansfield Senior won in overtime. And they stormed the field.
Right. And I believe it was on an extra point.
It was, I believe, No. It was Angelo Gross.
That's right. Yes, that's right. That's right.
But you are right.
There was a blocked
extra point or a blocked field goal by Cyrus Ellerby.
Yes.
I remember that well.
Because that started the string of like Mansfield having like a special team score for me. Every time I was around, they scored on a special team.
They blocked something every time Eric Will was in the house. Whippets trying to send it to third overtime or win it. They'll start at the Clyde 20. Back to pass Shepard, right side corner of the end zone. All kind of
intercepted.
And it's intercepted by Clyde, and that'll end the game. Caden Olson intercepted in the right corner of the end zone, and Clyde storms the field. The Flyers have knocked off the Whippets 42-35 in double overtime.
Aaron, you had two deep, man under. And so what happened is they faked the screen, and he goes for the home run. That only works if you don't have the two deep. They had the second safety over top. He's already there waiting on it. There's not enough girth. There's not enough length on the back end of that. So great defensive scheme by Clyde. Probably not the right play call in that situation. The safety's waiting on it. Remember, he's not defending a lot of field back there. Clyde just made one more play than Shelby did. You got to congratulate the Flyers. It's a big win. Great high school football game. Tip your hat to the Flyers.
It was Caden Olson on the interception in the back of the end zone for the Clyde Fliers, and that is our final score in double overtime. Clyde defeats Shelby by a final score of 42-35. We'll take a break. We'll come back and wrap it up next. Again, final score from Robert Bishop Stadium in the Division IV Regional Quarterfinal. A whale of a game. Clyde beat Shelby in double OT. Final score, Clyde 42 and Shelby 35. We'll wrap it up next. You're listening to High School Playoff Football on My 100.1.
Looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Welcome to Richland County's first artificial intelligence ATM. And if you car dance to the song you're listening to now, I will give you $50. See, that's something an ATM can never do.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, we're serious.
Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. We hope your day is a little bit better today.
Yes, thank you.
Just wow, folks. What an unbelievable finish that we had tonight at Clyde. A couple of overtimes is what it took before we had a victor, but it is going to be a Flyers with a walk-off interception to seal the deal as they knock off the Shelby Whippets. They'll advance to take on the defending state champions in Van Wert. Final score here tonight, 42-35. Let's dive inside the final stats of the evening, presented by Phillips Tube Group. Brian Skronsky with you. We'll have Travis Berardi in just a moment down on the field. He's going to have an interview lined up with our MVP of the game. That's going to be Michael Daniels. What a monster performance for him. And you see a lot of those total yards tonight from the Flyers, a result of the work by Daniels. 283 yards on the ground. They hold Shelby to 68 rushing yards tonight, but Marshall Shepard carves them up 339. He does through the air, and that's pretty routine for Marshall. I think that's actually below his season average. 20 first downs for Shelby, 16 of them for Clyde. A lot of penalty yards on both sides. The turnovers, you could say, killer tonight. And we just talked about this, Travis and I, with Coach Mahaney before the game, and in his opinion, what would determine a winner and a loser tonight was going to be who took care of the ball better. Well, tonight it was the Clyde Fliers. And it looks like we have Travis Berardi down on the sideline with our MVP. We're going to toss it down to him in just one moment. Here we go. All right. Tell Travis who's up right now.
Well, going into halftime, we knew that they were doing a pretty good defensive front, so we put together like a kind of a new formation where we had some like a pistol look, and that they never saw that on film before because we never run it before. So obviously they didn't really know what to do in that situation, and it worked very well for us.
And I guess you got to hand it to your offensive line as well. This, like you just said, this is a new formation, and they were able to really perform it outstandingly tonight.
Yeah, they did amazing. I think going into the half, Coach got them fired up a little bit, and that enabled them to come out and perform a lot better than they did in the first half.
You knock off Shelby, the second time in 3 years. They beat you last year. You beat them the year before, but you get, I guess, the revenge this year. Take the rubber match of it. You're moving on to take on the defending state champions in Van Wert next week. Just thoughts on moving on?
It's amazing, to play a playoff game like that. That's what you call a playoff game right there, and we're looking for the challenge of Van Wert.
And what can a game like this do for you guys? A gut check game, a game where you had to, buckle down, back and forth. You're able to momentum, all that stuff. Just what does that do moving forward, knowing that you can win the tough games?
I think it just gives us a really big confidence boost. We'll go into practice Monday feeling really good about ourselves. We'll keep putting in the work, putting in really good practices, and we'll keep on moving forward.
Well, congratulations, our MVP. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
Back up to you, Brian.
All right. Thank you, Travis. Good stuff right there. Michael Daniels, our MVP tonight. Extraordinary numbers. 40 carries, 267 yards, got into the end zone a couple of times, helping lead his team to victory here tonight. In a couple of overtimes, the Clyde Fliers knock off the Shelby Whippets. Boy, what a game did we just see. That's going to wrap up our coverage here tonight from Clyde High School. Want to thank our outstanding crew here tonight, bringing you live and free playoff high school football, including Hayden Gray down on the sideline, got you some killer shots. Storm Blunchley up top with the camera work. Travis Berardi been tracking stats all night. I'm Brian Skronsky, been producing, mixing a little bit of the audio for you, bringing up the replays, all that good stuff. And big shout out to all of our sponsors that came together and helped us bring this to you live and free, as we always do on the OH Report, the only way that we know how. Final time, final score here tonight from Clyde, 42-35, the Flyers moving on to the D4 Region 14 semifinals. Plenty of high school football playoff style on the way tomorrow on the OH Report. Matter of fact, we are going to have 4 playoff games for you guys to watch on a Saturday night. Also got some volleyball. The Monroeville Eagles looking to punch their ticket to the state Final Four yet again, so lots to watch. Tune back in tomorrow, full day on the OH Report. But for now, for tonight, from Clyde, we are out of here. Peace out, folks.